Hello everybody, it's GMat here. Just a quick couple of things before this episode starts, and it's going to be very confusing, so bear with me. This very special episode is from the Jazzcast. The Jazzcast is a Patreon exclusive, patreon.com/the GMat podcast if you want to get access to that, plus the post show, plus some more content that we're working on to sort of turn the Patreon into something that's worth subscribing to. $3 a month, cancel anytime. That's all I'm going to do to plug the Patreon, I think. So just keep that in your head. Patreon.com/the GMat podcast. Go check it out. You guys know what to do. This show, the Jazzcast, will be available on Patreon a few weeks before it comes out on YouTube, except for the first episode, which is a Patreon exclusive. What you're about to see is episode 2, titled Stress. For YouTube, we have decided to title it Jazz as a kickoff to the publicly available Jazzcasts. I know that's a little bit confusing because on Patreon it's called Stress, and on YouTube it'll be called Jazz, and on Patreon the first official episode is called Jazz. It's a bit of a mess, but for the YouTube fans and for people who don't subscribe to the Patreon, I think it'll kick off the Jazzcast publicly in a better way. Again, sorry for the confusion that causes. I know it's stupid to have 2 episodes with the same title on 2 different platforms, but the show isn't episodic, so moving forward, episode 3 will have the same name on Patreon and YouTube, and we should be fine. I appreciate you guys supporting the content. I really hope you enjoy this episode. From about 20 minutes onwards, we get into a deep dive about the sketch that we filmed. If you want to see the sketch, it's available on YouTube at The Real GMat. It's called The Jinx with a G, and I think you'll enjoy it. Now, as for the Jazzcast is it's a more casual show. It's way longer. We have no plan. We sort of just shoot the shit. We try to have a few real discussions, a few genuine conversations. It's not much different from the podcast, but it just has a more casual energy, which is fun for us because then we can just chill out and chat. All right, I've talked enough. Enjoy the first publicly available episode of the Jazzcast. Jazz. I know it's for Jazzcast. It's meant to be jazz. Just talk, just hang. But I'm in a quite a bad mood, and I don't want to.
Still?
Yeah.
I fixed it.
What do you mean you fixed it?
I thought I fixed your bad mood.
How?
Just being a great guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Talking. There was a couple of laughs out there. You drew some eyebrows on the dog.
I did. Yeah, right. Yeah. No, but I mean, I'm just.
You're stressed, aren't you?
I am a little stressed.
What did we say was going to happen this year that was going to make it different?
That we would have everything done in time.
Okay. You're not vibing that's...
No, we only got tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day. And
what have we got to do? Film you walking into your house and I got to do some voice shit.
Yeah, but I got to edit it all together.
Yeah, but the hard shit's done.
The hard shit's that I got to do like the live from like before the walk-in. There's all that like...
Stock footage.
But it's not all stock footage. There's graphics and such. But I can use stock footage. But still, it's still going to be like an hour of stuff I have to do.
Yeah, that'd be alright.
While also setting up everything. And I got to go get just the things, food and drink.
We'll get it done, don't worry.
Yeah.
You've got me pretty much all tomorrow. If you want.
Lucky.
So I can help with some stuff.
I'll do a bit of... I think I'll get my PC out there tonight.
Yeah.
Like later on. I think we'll enjoy our last chance to chill in front of the TV on the couch. And then at some point I'm going to go, all right, playtime's over.
Why don't you take it all out there and put it on the desk and put it like to the wall, and then you can just drag it across so you don't have to have no house for the next 2 days. The next day.
Well, I mean, we've already sort of accepted that tomorrow there's no house, so I honestly don't think it's going to be that.
Right.
Plus, I think I need to move. I think I need to get rid of the rug on the floor.
Okay.
Because I think it's too small that some people are going to be rolling over it on the edge of it when they try to come in and out. And I just let's just get rid of it.
I saw you drawing your little floor plan out there.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's finito? Was that everything you need? You can see it in your brain now?
That's it. I was doing it because I was going to show you, and then
We got distracted.
I got distracted.
Classic.
So, yeah, I'm going to have the long table. That's no point describing it. Point is...
That desk?
No, this desk won't get out of here. I built it in here and I can't get it out. So we have the desk, my old desk, which is in the bedroom now. That one will probably be Aiden's. And then you'll probably work off that little wooden table that used to be the dining table.
Okay.
And then Beck will be on the trestle table. And then to her left will be the end of my 2 meter desk, and then Sienna will be on the other side of that. So they can both, from either side of that little desk, do the stream stuff. Yeah.
Do I need to bring a chair? I need to bring my chair as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll end up with something not so comfy.
Well, ironically, that chair's actually quite uncomfortable.
The one that you have? Yeah.
I don't know. It's not a bad chair. It's a well-constructed chair. Just there's something about it that just does not suit my frame.
Do you want to use that one? And I'll use that one.
We'll see. We will see. Maybe we can do a little rotation so the different parts are getting sore.
I'm a little younger than you, so I can handle 12
You are
hours.
little and younger than me.
Although I'm quite sore at the moment. My neck is running through my whole body. Hurt my neck, and then it's sort of reverberated.
Well, mine's got a headrest on it. I think Steve finds it super comfortable. You might find it super comfortable as well. There's just something about it that's not comfortable for me.
But I also find that super comfortable. And Steve sat in that the other day and went, "Oh, no wonder your back's fucked."
Just Steve. He just loves a whinge.
He does love a whinge.
Yeah. You can cut that out.
Yeah, no, I cut a bit in the jazz. Even the last Jazzcast, I cut a bit. People like the Jazzcast.
Did they?
On Patreon. I think every single Patreon member has watched it. And
Really?
Yeah. Got a few comments. People saying that. Do you want me to find some?
Yeah, why not? It's like it's kind of like a stream, you know, like you don't have to be paying attention to everything all the time. And it's not short and bursty and loud. It's just, you can have it on the background. This would be something you could probably go to sleep to.
Yeah.
The normal podcast you can go to sleep to.
Not at all.
There's too much happening.
Sometimes there's nothing happening. There was a joke there.
Okay.
Wish I could find it. We've had a boom in the Patreon as well. So
Hey-o.
for those who are listening to this, thank you guys. We appreciate it. We're at like $209 per month. We're making on the Patreon.
Nice.
Which is just play great. There's 2 comments on the actual Patreon. Well, here's a long one. The other one was like, you and Beck can come crash on the couch whenever you want to. This is because we talked about how Beck made a joke about can we crash
Like going to Amber's or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I really enjoy this. It's nice to hear you guys shoot the shit without feeling like you have to filter or censor certain topics to maintain that comedic atmosphere like on the podcast. And as
Lord knows we don't do that properly.
And as Matt mentioned, a lot of times the podcast conversations are all over the place or move on quickly, not allowing time for Ben or Beck to give their 2 cents. I'm personally a fan of cancel culture, but it's cool to hear your perspectives in a slightly more serious setting. Keep it up.
I'm a fan of cancel culture. Guys, we've got tickets to see cancel culture this weekend. They're playing it down the green. We'll just go, it's general admission, but I'm thinking if we get there early, we can get right to the front.
Supporting Acme too.
Yeah.
Let me, I've heard more about it than those 2 comments. Maybe it was on the actual video on YouTube. Someone commented.
Go up on YouTube as well, did it?
It goes on YouTube unlisted, and then you can watch it through Patreon. Yeah. It's too big to post just on Patreon.
Yeah.
And I think Kate would listen to it, and Kate thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's good.
And said some shit about it, but I can't remember because it's not written down in front of me. Let's see, Jazz. No, there are no comments in the Jazz. Well, I've only got the one, Ben, currently, so apologies.
You get a lot of feedback from friends and family and chats, probably.
Yeah, but also, on Twitch.
Or Discord, maybe someone said something.
Maybe on the Discord, too. It's always hard to keep track of when I say, I heard a little bit of this, and I'm like, I don't know where from. Just different fucking sources. Are you getting the work stuff?
Nah.
No, cool. What's going on?
Yeah.
You keen for G-Stream?
Yeah, why don't we do a stream this weekend?
What?
We should do a stream this weekend.
Yeah, let's do G-Stream this weekend.
We'll put in the hard yards. Let's do it. Let's really slog it. None of these fucking 1.5 to 3 hour bullshit things you're doing every couple of days.
Like 10?
Keep going.
10.5.
You wish it was 10.5, mate.
11.
North.
Not 11.5.
Now let's round that off.
You talking 13?
Lower.
12:30?
Lower.
12 hours.
The price is right.
12 hours of streaming content. Yeah. I had a thought about it.
Just the one?
Yeah, my brain's fried.
Okay.
My brain's a little fried today. I haven't finished off my actual work either. I just got one more video to finish editing. But I could do that tomorrow in the lounge room when I'm all set up.
Very cool.
Or maybe I should do it tonight because if everyone's going to be here, it's not like I can work.
Jazzcast, baby.
Jazz.
This is the type of stuff you get. I'm going to finish it like, maybe I should finish it in here. What are fish and chips for dinner?
So welcome to the Jazzcast, everybody. This is episode 2 with the Jazzcast, where we just...
Jazzcast. We just jazz it out.
I don't have my notes, so it's just freeform improv jazz.
Ham and eggs coming at you.
I'm a little trepidatious.
You said you had a thought.
I don't know what it was. I'm moving on to this new thought. Trepidatious, anxious.
Even thoughter.
About everyone, because last time we did it, we left with a bitter taste in our mouths, and certain members of the GMat team were not happy with the experience, and I have a lot of anxieties about.
Who was happy with the experience?
I mean, I was happy. It went well.
Well, yeah?
Yeah.
I think everyone was happy with, like, we got through it. We did the whole 12 hours. We raised the dosh.
Uh-huh.
You know, it was another one in the bank, but it wasn't everyone's favourite. There were frustrating things about it that we all shared, like the fucking Discord. Like, we couldn't be helped a lot of it, though. So, I think everyone was like, it was fine, but we could do better. And 90% of that is being allowed to be in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry, what was...
Yeah, that's what I'm anxious about.
So you're trepidatious because of last
I want
time?
it to be done so we can go like 3 weeks later and be like, now is everyone still happy about what happened? Or is there anything that I need to know about? Like, I just want everyone to have a good time and not be upset with me.
It's a whole different thing when we're in the same room. It was just really fucking taxing last time.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting in front of your computer doing nothing for 12 hours. There's no energy. You gotta... It was a 12-hour Zoom call, and we had to try and be awake and engaged for 12 hours of that. That's too much.
And you think this will be easier?
We're in the same room.
Right.
But the one we did over there, that was the last one we did, wasn't it, before lockdown?
Yep.
That was great. Everyone liked that.
Yeah.
Like, they're always a hard slog because, 6 hours and you're like, fuck, oh. And then 7 hours and you're like, fuck, oh. But then you're usually around, I think, was it the 9 or 10 hour thing? The energy changes and we find something new to do. Like you start drinking or we play some sort of weird different game that's not just the three of us staring at our monitors. Like we'll do the bomb game or something. Or we started playing music at some point.
We always end
like
up playing
there's
music.
something we shake it up somehow.
Well, there's a few things. I think crab game with the communities.
Yeah, there you go. That'll be a good shake up. I think we save that. As much as it's going to be good, we got to save it for later on.
Well, it's one of the milestones, one of the donation milestones. Like, let's get there.
Yeah,
and when we get there, we can do crab game.
Clever. Very clever. Well, you're the G.
We are.
I'm just some fucking Matt.
I learned what the giveaways are today.
Really?
What the giveaway is today.
Are they TS?
What?
I don't want to say it. Top secret.
I mean, they are, but I don't think this will come out before Saturday. So,
okay.
It's a Nintendo Switch Lite with a $99 gift card, Nintendo gift card
for the Nintendo store.
For the Nintendo store,
oh my
and that's
God.
that's the prize that we're going to give away. And I told them how I wasn't particularly stoked with how the raffle thing was going.
It is odd.
So now we can just do that giveaway.
What do you mean?
Like we just do the giveaway, just pick someone to give it away to,
rather than with. Okay.
With
Do we do like marbles or something?
Marbles?
You know that marbles thing you can do on the stream where you can see people.
That's a good idea.
Thank you.
That's a really good idea. Fuck. Should we do that?
Yeah.
Should we do marbles and have like a couple, like we're gonna have 5 practice games so that like people know how it works and how to get into it, and then the 6th game is whoever wins this gets the prize.
Yeah, so the only thing that's kind of not ideal about that is it doesn't pump your donations. Like it doesn't... Because the ticket thing's good because it makes people donate because then they get tickets and there's more chance of getting a prize. But I don't really like that system for the same reasons you don't, from what I've been watching. And so, yeah, everyone gets a 1-to-1 shot though.
My feeling is the most money we ever raised was G-Stream. And it is a good way to make you make a lot of money in those donations, but I always feel like the donations slow down after. Second, people are like...
After the giveaway?
After the giveaway, people stop donating. But with G-Stream, it's like the reason to donate is for donating, and for some reason that seems to work. It's worked better.
Yeah, I think so. Have we had prizes the other ones?
Yeah, we have like just giveaways that we
I remember
do.
we had PAX tickets one year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all. We all just gave them away. So I need to.
So you could do marbles. I think maybe do you have more shit like the stuff that you've been using on
down
on streaming? You know, you had that megaphone for ages, and you sold that off at some point.
Yeah, I've got this thing that I took out of a book that had Garth Brooks on it, and I signed it because we were making fun of Garth Brooks.
Yeah, right.
And we might do some other stuff, but it'll all be like gimmicky shit. Like last time, I remember it was like the DVD of The Mask and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's something that I got to do again tomorrow. But I think I'm literally.
Is there anything that's like a reference? Like this is the thing I was talking to Steve about.
I can
today.
give away my notebook. I thought would be a good one.
Yeah, Amber got it last time, didn't she? She's pretty fucking
So
stoked.
this is a year one, but the problem is that's also my diary, so it's got a bunch of personal diary entries in the start.
Well, that's just a dumb idea, isn't it?
So I should tear those out and just give them like the rest of the shit, because there is a lot of like podcast notes. Ellie, come up here.
I was saying to Steve today, the podcast fan base and the GMat G stream fan base. I think there's crossover, obviously, but I don't know how much. So I was like, there's got to be something that we've referenced that I could throw into the mix to contribute in some way. But a lot of this,
what about just your hat, Ben's FlexiCap hat?
Yeah, I'll throw in one of my hats if they want. But it's I don't know, because I'm never really on this. I'll pop into the chat every now and then, but I don't really jump into the streams. I'm not streaming with you. Like Aiden's done stints of where he'd be jumping on every now and then. Like he was playing AOE with you pretty recently, so that they know him.
Yeah.
More, but I don't know if I have anything that would be relevant and interesting to them.
I mean, the hat's funny.
That's funny. I'll do the hat then.
And it's not like people are fighting for the hat. It's like we'll be like, if you post,
maybe they will. You don't know.
But I mean, like if you post on Instagram, you will pick a giveaway for you, sort of thing. Like not where people say people have to compete for something. It's more like a post on our Instagram and to go in the running to win.
You don't reckon just more marbles games, because they can be the practice games, maybe.
Maybe, but then we give. Like, I like the Instagram. It gives people a reason to post on Instagram. It's good for the socials. That's what we did last year. It was like post on Instagram to go in the chance to win this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm happy to do the hat. It's kind of gross. So
it is gross. Yeah.
If there's a better suggestion from anyone, well, I mean, they're not going to hear this until after, are they?
It's Jimmy Barnes' Killing Time alarm clock.
Well, hang on. How are you going to know what time it is then? How are you going to remember to wake up off the tiny couch?
It's broken.
Oh, R.I.P.
R.I.P. piss. Viva Pinata. We give away one of the Viva Pinatas.
Oh, that's going to shatter Bruce's heart.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll come up with something. Oh. Phone check, everybody. Make sure everything's, yep. I'm nervous. No, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to playing.
Are you nervous, or are you just, is it anticipation like butterflies?
Trepidatious. Yeah, butterflies.
You always are a little bit, and that's fine. But as long as it's not, keeping you up at night and making you feel sick like it did 2 streams ago.
No, it's not bothering me. Tomorrow might be a bit stressful. And then Saturday morning, I'll be up at like 7 a.m. Just like sitting at my desk going, is everything ready?
Not to stress you out.
Ah, fuck.
I'm probably going to have to come over a little bit early and get the computer booted up.
When?
On Gstream.
Uh-oh. Why?
Just been having a bit of issues where I have to sort of start it 15 times before it'll start. It does, once she's going, she's good to go. Like we've played games, a couple of weeks ago, AOE and stuff, and there's never any dramas. Once she's humming along, she's good to go. But for some reason, I don't know whether it was because I kind of vacuumed it out a little bit. There's a bit of dust in there. Maybe I knocked some of the RAM a little bit or something. I couldn't be bothered opening it up to check. So
what are we going to do if it doesn't work?
It'll work. It's been like this for a little while.
If it doesn't work, what do we do? You can't just sit there. You'll be bored. You won't even be able to see anything.
Why not? I'll see. I'll watch the stream like everyone else. No, I think that won't be... It'll be, for people watching, it'll be less good. But for people listening, it'll be fine because I can just, I don't have to concentrate on gameplay at all. I can just commentate.
It's not a podcast. You can't.
And talk to you guys.
It's not people. Everyone's watching. Like for people watching, it'll be shit. But for people listening,
yeah. But people aren't constant. Like they're not glued to the screen the whole time watching the gameplay. It'll work. I'm telling you right now, it'll work. I'm just saying I have to get here early. If you said get here at 9:45, I'm like, we're gonna have an issue then.
Okay.
If you say like show up whenever in the morning, I'm like, cool. I'll get here at 9. by 9:45, the computer will be ready to go.
Why don't you just not turn it off that night? Just leave it going in the lounge.
Yeah, because it also does a thing where if I leave it going for too long.
Stop. We're going for 12 hours.
I think if it sits idle, it just shuts itself down. It'll be fine.
You have time to take it to PC DIY tomorrow and be like, hey, what's wrong?
Maybe.
Fuck. That's crazy.
Have we ever been playing a game?
No.
Exactly.
No. But we haven't played for 12 hours is the other thing.
True.
Yeah.
But I've definitely had it on for that long. You know, like we'll play a game and then I'll be writing that script that we did, or, you know, I've had it on for very long periods of time and nothing's happened. It's only ever fucked up when I'm booting it up. It takes
Couple cycles to get.
Yeah, a shitload to get going. It might even be like something weird I've got plugged into USBs. I haven't really spent a ton of time troubleshooting it.
I had that PC up there.
And you know, if it was annoying enough and I was worried enough about it, I would have spent time fixing it.
Mm-hmm.
But once it's going, she's good to go.
Once she's on, she's on.
On like Teflon.
It's the move, getting the move from there to here. Like, I'm wondering if anything will be bumped or moved, or that'll make
it can't make it worse.
True.
It could make it worse. It could just not boot up at all, but it'll be fine.
Maybe just come over tomorrow at like midday and bring it and get set up early.
Well, yeah. It's fine. I'll set it up. It should be good.
Should be humming along.
Don't even worry about it.
It'd be so funny if this, because this will come out after G-Stream, if I could do it. Dun, dun, dun. PC's not working. Like, cut to G-Stream and that happens. God damn.
And in that, we'll be referencing this conversation now. If that does happen, remember on the Jazzcast where we said that this is going to happen? And then you can cut to this of me saying that we were referencing that. And you can cut to me referencing that. And then you can cut to that where I'm like, oh my God. And remember, I was referencing that we would reference this, referencing that. And it'll be fractal.
I'm not doing that.
You will do that.
I don't even trim things out of this episode.
This is true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. That doesn't stress me out. I'm fine. No, really, that doesn't actually stress me out.
Yeah.
It'll work. If it works, it works.
It's my computer. I know how it works.
Exactly.
Or it doesn't work. And if I'm not stressed, you shouldn't be stressed. If it was going to be an issue, maybe I will pop into DCPPY tomorrow.
DPCKY.
Yeah.
DBCG jelly. Yeah. So that's fun. The other thing is just everything working. I don't know if you saw it. I was messing around with it on stream. Just getting everything working.
Today?
Yesterday on stream.
Oh, like the little layout.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It's working.
Good.
The day before it wasn't working, and then yesterday it was working, and I'm just hoping it works for G-Stream. But there is a backup option if things start to go fucky, which will be like we'll have to do it on the stream. We'll be troubleshooting live, but it'll be quick if it works.
Oh, that'll fill some time.
Yeah. I can show you. You can have a little glimpse.
Yeah, why not?
I'm really looking forward to everybody being able to see everybody's screen. It's gonna be exciting.
Everybody meaning the audience.
Yeah, I should have. That's what. Yeah, I didn't clarify that, but you know what I mean.
Gotta clean up my desktop. Make a little schmick and span if we're gonna have company.
So for this one, they won't see so much, like the room. There won't be a room cam.
No room cam.
No, because I don't have enough. There's just not enough computing power to power another webcam.
Okay. So it's just 3 of our faces.
4 of our faces. Beck will be on there as well.
Yeah, okay.
The other option is we do have a camera that one of you guys runs out of your computer, and then you Discord it to me. Which, this is what I tested out the other day.
Yeah, right.
Because right now we have 3 capture cards, 4 webcams, and that much USB power isn't.
It's a lot of juice.
It's a lot. It's a lot for the PC. It seems like it runs, but the first day when I tried it, I had the webcams at 1080p, and they were starting to glitch out because there just wasn't enough power.
So you're doing 720 or 480?
480. But they're down to nothing. You can't even tell the difference.
Yeah, that's what I think because they're so small.
Yeah. So we're doing that, and that solved the issue. But I can't get another webcam in there because I've also just run out of USB ports.
Maybe given current circumstances, try and run it off Aiden's computer.
Yeah, I think so. And then we Discord sent it. So what I was saying was if the webcams start to glitch out because the computer can't handle it, we can just everyone plug their own webcams in and we Discord it like I do when I stream with Aiden. And on the same network, the delay is like, it's nothing. So vocally and mouth lining up won't be any different than
Why don't we just, although, yeah, How much? Yeah, Discording in the background shouldn't take too much juice, should it?
No, not for anyone really. No. But I mean, if we can run it all through this PC and make it work,
then there's no delay and it's all hunky dory.
But then someone do a room cam, and I can have that as a let me show you how it looks. Let me bloody give you a little geese and a gander. It should all work. It should all bloody work.
It'll be fine.
Doing these ones. Bloody fingers.
If it doesn't, we'll come up with a solution.
Bloody crossed. I'm going to have to go back and watch that later because I just want to see if the audio was delayed. Yeah. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
You know what might be interesting?
Tell me.
Seeing as this is not going to come out until after Saturday, we could do a little live commentary to our sketch.
Oh, yeah.
If you want.
That's good. Do you just need the audio? Or do you want to visually see it? Because it's going to be a difficult one to...
It'd be good to see it just because that means you have to go there.
Yeah, and I don't really...
You could put it on your phone and just sort of swizzle it around to me every now and then like you did with your fucking... I think you were just showing me. But it's not as interactive. I can't hear it through the headphones.
You can hear it through the headphones.
Oh, yeah, if you Bluetooth it to the thing.
This has been Bluetooth the whole time. I just forgot you weren't wearing headphones.
Yeah.
So when that was playing just then, you could hear it. I think that's the only way for me to really do it because if I go...
Now, if you come over and sit next to you, but I'll just have to yank the mic off this and walk over and hold the mic. That won't be too noisy. You'll hear where the audio pauses. Yeah, okay.
I'll just pause it.
So you can put it on the screen.
And if you have headphones on, you'll be able to hear it as well.
You just want me to listen?
Yeah. No, I'll show you. I'll have it here.
Oh, because you've seen it 1,000
Or I could put it here and fucking I can see it and you can see it. And then
should we give some background on the... let's just do a little background on the whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
What's the background on the whole thing?
Let me get it up so I know that it's fine. And I'll put it on the screen for everybody as well, so you guys don't have to fucking look at it on my phone. So every year there's some intro to G Stream, and the first year it was just me walking up to the building like, and here's your host GMat, and then the next year for whatever reason we decided to do the same thing. I think it was because it was the Discord podcast, the Discord G Stream. Mm-hmm. I went, I'm going to do like the same thing. It's just easier. I'll walk in, I'll go to thing, I'll sit down, I'll hit the button, and then it'll switch over.
But we did want to add something to it.
Yeah, and that one we added the Imagine video at the start.
That's right. We got to put something and then that. Like it's got to be a new thing. You can't just do the same thing. We had the consensus of like, let's build on it. You got to build on it.
I mean, there was a point there where you guys didn't even want to do that. You were like, let's do something new. And I really wanted to do that.
Yeah,
thing.
that's true.
I want that to almost be like every G Stream. There's some version of that.
But then, that's what it's become now. Yeah. But at the time, I was like, just bin that. We've done that idea. Let's do a new thing. But then you're like, no, we'll have that. And I was like, all right, can we do something else at the start or before or like something new with it? You're like, yeah, let's do that. And I think we were all like, yeah, that's a good idea.
And at that point, I'd forgotten about the Imagine video. I was like, oh, we did that with the Imagine video. There's no reason why we can't do it again this year.
But then we also had the sitcom thing because people couldn't come and like do the dust the face and give you the coffee cup and all that sort of shit. Because it was...
Yeah.
So we had like a sitcom thing of like people, hey, it's like Saturday Night Live cast.
Yeah.
Starring Aiden.
It's all like the same energy. Like every year I want to do that thing, but not always the same, just like same sort of vibe. But doing something new, some intro beforehand that is cool or...
It's got to be better than the last year. That's
better than last
year. The only rule is it's got to be better than the last year. We do a thing, it's better than the last year, and then we do the walk-in intro with the big hype music. And
yeah. And this year we went, I don't know what got us to a sketch firsthand, but I think it was like, let's get Steve, because Steve, your friend Steve, his film
also, we changed the music. Because the first one I stole the Letterman music.
Yeah.
And then this one I stole the music from, it's the fake Tonight Show. Larry Sanders Show.
Wait, last year or this year?
Last year. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Oh, you said this time. So
I'll have to send you a couple, Sams. I forgot we do a new song every year.
You can do whatever you want. Don't have to send it to me. If you're happy with it, do it. You didn't send me the last two.
Didn't I? Okay.
You sent me when it was done. You were like, here it is.
I feel like I gave you options.
Not for music, no. I don't care about music. You know what's good. It's just got to have some music at the end for me to walk into. But it doesn't need to be a crazy amount of music because I don't have that far to go.
Yeah, true.
The majority of
it's got to be, well, I've got to do all of the live from blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but I mean,
all
for
the
like,
names.
And now your host, like there's always some like extra chunk of music for me to walk in.
Yeah.
But the majority of the stuff that'll happen in inside here. I'll walk in.
Yeah, that is going to take me longer. Then I got to find that. I got to find the music, the all important music.
Yeah. So did we always want to do a sketch? Was that locked in from the start? Because I remember having Steve in mind. It was like, Steve's done film stuff. Let's just get him to film something for us. But what is that the question, or was it what do we do in general?
I've also done film stuff. Thanks.
Yeah, no, but you have to be in it.
True. Yeah. He's a big camera boy.
I remember originally
Loves the camera.
my idea, what I always envisioned, like that I never said because I wasn't that attached to it, but what I pictured was a real sketch with the three of us just playing ourselves in some way, maybe just sitting in the lounge talking about G-Stream or something. I had a real simple idea, like let's just do gags or... But I had no idea. It was just that's what I was picturing.
There was a prelim idea that I was going to... Oh, it was...
Spider-Man.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a bunch of characters from the podcast. And then the problem with that was I was like, a lot of the stream audience is in the podcast audience. I was like, what's some stuff for some streams? And I asked Discord. And they were like... And I said, not Tony fucking Benoni. So I fucking hate that guy.
Can't believe it. That's why he never said Tony Benoni. Because I didn't even think of Tony Benoni. And you didn't even suggest it because you hate it that much.
I said, not Tony Benoni.
Yeah.
To the Discord folks. I'm like, fuck, that was the only one I was going to think. And then they were like, little Jimmy. I was like, that's a character from a video. I was like, this is going to be fucking difficult.
And it's going to be shit.
Well, hang on.
I was worried it was going to be...
It would have been good.
I was worried it was going to be not good. Because
it was going to be good. I would have made it into something that we could have made good.
We would all have to be playing characters.
Yeah, but I would have made it funny and it would have been good. Don't worry. You think I'm going to hand you over some shit that's going to look shit and be in it? You're going to be in something that's going to be shit?
Can I be honest?
Be honest.
Right now, the original Spider-Man sketch about us being outside, I thought the dialogue was funny. I didn't think we could pull it off.
Yeah, but you, like you said, you don't do the film stuff.
Yeah, but...
I could see it in my head and I was like, that's easy to do.
But also outside.
Outside? Are you kidding me right now?
With the equipment that we had. Like, it was cheap equipment.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. It was just cheap.
Plus, I think when a sketch is good and the writing is good and it's a funny bit, but it's made badly.
Well, ours is made badly. Calm down.
Yeah, but it's charming because it's us playing us, and it's.
Yeah, but I was going to make that charming. I wasn't. Do you think I was going to give you something that would not turn out okay?
I don't know.
It was going to be fine. That was a first draft, and I said this is not working here.
But you didn't know,
and so we had to come up with another idea.
You didn't know what equipment I was getting.
The equipment doesn't matter that much. I knew Steve knows what he's doing with the camera, and he knows what he's doing with the mic and whatnot. And I knew that he and I, between the two of us, would make something work to some standard. It would be fine.
Okay.
And we made it work. We had to pivot.
Yeah.
So
I had low confidence in the first idea.
Yeah, but you didn't see what I saw. It was a work in progress. Given more time, it could have worked.
Yeah.
It wasn't a full idea yet, and I had to underwrite it a couple of times, do a couple of vomit drafts, and then the idea would flex into something else. And this is what it ended up flexing into. The
whole thing was also hinging on your performance as Hometown Spider-Man.
I think after seeing my performance in this, you'll agree, no fucking worries, mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that would have been, yeah.
I wasn't having a go. I was going to ask you.
Yeah, but the thing with Hometown Spider-Man is the more low-key and disinterested I played it, the funnier it was going to be. That was the thing, is that all I had to do is walk in and be like, oh, which I think we'll both agree is not a stretch for me.
No, I think you can walk in and go, ah.
Walking in and being disinterested I do it every week.
That original idea, I was picturing, you ever seen that SNL sketch of the Carrey family reunion?
No.
Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay.
It's a family reunion, and he plays himself coming to the reunion, and he runs it. Hey, it's my brother Ron Carrey, and they're all just different versions of things that he's played, and they're all just doing Jim Carrey impressions. I picture that, but in this context where it's like, hey, can't wait for all my friends to show up for G-Stream. Who's that at the door? Hometown Spider-Man. Who's that at the door? So, all like that.
Yeah, that is a bad idea. I can see why you were worried about it.
But when you
because that was not the idea.
No, I'm not saying that's what I thought that was going to be. When you pitched characters from the GMat universe, that's what I envisioned we would end up doing.
Yeah.
But then you scrapped that entirely and just went for Hometown Spider-Man.
No, it wasn't just Hometown Spider-Man, but that's where it started. And then
there was also 3 pages of Hometown Spider-Man, so I was like,
I was getting warmed up.
This script,
like I said, it was a vomit draft because I would have written like a 10-page script, and then found the good bits of that and written a new version that was tweaked and something different, and it would have had the good bits from that, and then I would have worked in other shit. But it wasn't the best idea for that situation. We didn't have the time to do whatever that was going to become.
We had to find the Spider-Man costume.
You wait, fucking G-Stream 2023, it's going to be a Hometown Spider-Man fucking 90-minute epic.
Maybe if we can, because also I remembered thinking about like planning it. Like the fact that we were able to all get together on a day to film this before like the weekend was over was a goddamn miracle, looking at everyone's schedules. Yeah, that was on like Tuesday. We were pitching an idea for the sketch, and that meant that G-Stream was like less than 14. That was 10 days away.
Yeah,
I was like, so you got to write it, come up with it, get everyone together, film it, edit it, and all that. I wasn't worried about the editing because I'm a quick editor.
Yeah, that's the thing is like
I know
how that works, and you know what your you know all the provisos and whatnot for your own work. But I knew all the other stuff, and I was like, yeah, well, that's just fine. Yeah.
Well, I hated the idea. I didn't hate the idea. I liked the script.
You weren't excited. You know when you get those ideas, you're like, that's it, that's the one, do that.
And when you said to me in the messenger, yep, that's the one, I thought the exact same thing when you pitched the idea that we ended up going with, where you were like, nope, I've got it. And I was like, this will be good.
Yeah.
Like this.
Well, I remember the first time that happened with us was the Deus. The Deus idea. We're like, let's do something. Then we're like, what about this? What about that? And I was like, I had this thing that I've been toying with. And you're like, that's good. How do we make that this long though? And I was like, well, I was thinking maybe do this. And you're like, that's it. Go do that. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that.
That's the thing about ideas that I always forget is that like we spent time on a few ideas unpacking them and going, how would that work? What would we do in the future? Like where? And I shouldn't have to do that. Like when every idea that we've ever had that's good, you'll pitch it to me. And I'll immediately know what you're thinking and what you're feeling, and I'll be like, yes, that's good. Go. That's like it just hits me. And
yeah. You get that fizz of like, oh, there's endless opportunities for something there. Yeah. Like you just see it. A lot of the ideas you're like, that's fun. That's a funny concept, but like there's a wall pretty quickly after it where you're like, but then nothing happens. Like there's nowhere to go with it. You can't expand on it. But and then there's the ideas where like, oh yeah, that's a giant tunnel that goes on forever.
But it was weird when you pitched me the Spider-Man thing. I thought that. I went, I don't know where this goes. I don't know what the bit is.
Yeah, but I think you wrote it in your head.
But also when you pitched me the idea we go with, I didn't think any of those thoughts. I didn't know where it was going to go or what it was going to be or what was going to be funny about it.
I probably didn't describe it well then.
I had a feeling in my gut that it was just right.
That was like prelim. It wasn't a fully fledged idea, so I probably gave you like...
Hometown Spider-Man talking about?
Well, all that stuff. And then like, or maybe characters from the GMat universe show up. And then there was another one where I was like... It was going to be like a doco, because then I was like, okay, I got to remember the cost-effective and time-effective nature of it. It's going to look shit, so let's make it a doco because they're always seat of the pants filming. Like you've just got to get everything as it happens. You don't have time to set shots. So I was like, Hometown Spider-Man.
But you didn't pitch Hometown Spider-Man. I didn't realize that was going to be a documentary style.
That was the second one that was in the middle there, and you were already turned off by the idea, I think, because you immediately were like, is it going to be all Hometown Spider-Man? I was like, well... I don't really have any other characters from this universe. And so I was throwing you like half ideas that I hadn't really thought all the way through just to bounce shit off you.
And I knew it was going to be hard because there weren't enough big characters to do stuff with.
Well, that's why then I pared it down to just Hometown Spider-Man. You're like, yeah, Hometown Spider, is it a big enough thing? And I was like, probably not. But I'm just like, even then I hadn't fully thought them through. I wasn't like, I think this is a good idea, I'm going to send it to him. I was just thinking out loud. It was as if we were in the room talking like this. I was like, what about that? What about that? So... yeah, a lot of those were not ready to go. And then I think the delineation of me going like, yeah, I think there's potential there. And you going, I don't think there is because I had finished the idea a completely different way to how you'd finished the idea. Mm-hmm. I would give you the first half and then I'd keep going in my head and go, yeah, and then, or it could be that, or it could be that as well. Oh, maybe chuck that in there, but I didn't give you any of that. And you just thought, you would think it different way. Like, I could see that being a problem. I don't really see that there's enough characters for that thing.
I remember not even thinking about like elements in. I just was thinking like, we're gonna have to film it on the street. Beck's gonna have to run down the street screaming. We're gonna have to, when people walk by, we're gonna have to stop. I was just thinking about like stuff that wasn't even had to do with the thing. I wasn't excited.
The
about
idea was all the practicalities of it. Yeah.
I got focused on. I didn't when you pitched me this idea. I didn't think about any practicalities.
That might be a hangover from when we were doing the plays because you'd have to produce them all. I'd be like, what about this? And be like, and how are we going to afford that? I'm like, I don't know. It's not my job.
That's why I didn't want to pitch to you. I didn't want to say anything about that sort of stuff because I remember when we were doing the plays and stuff, you really didn't like it when I shot down creative ideas because of like producer pressures. It was more like, well, let's find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to just come up with a new idea.
Yeah, but the thing we had to get to with that was it's not, we can't afford that. It'd be like, all right, could we do this instead? Or like, is there a version of that where, because I think sets was something we struggled with a lot. Because
or like the place where you would set the play. I was like, don't set the play there because it's going to be hard to build. And you're like, I haven't even started writing it and you're already telling me where to set it. You really hated that.
Yeah. Well, that was annoying.
Yeah. And I was like, but I've just meant like, you know.
Especially on the stage. Like, I was like, well, we can set it there. And to depict that, we could just use fucking milk crates. You know, like you don't know the full thing. Like,
and then I was like, oh.
Where am I going to get milk crates?
I like one room plays because then we can focus on putting all our money into one good looking room. 12 Angry Men and such. Yeah, so that's where my head went. But I think that might have been also because I just wasn't excited about the idea. Yeah. There was something there. I mean, I wasn't not excited, but I wasn't looking forward to making this all in 10 days. But when you pitched the I'm an arsehole sketch, my brain was just like, oh, that's good. There's bits there. I really like the idea of you being a bitch. Like immediately.
You fucking love that.
It's very, very funny. That was very funny. I liked that more than me being an arsehole. I was like, you being just a little fucking cuck.
Yeah.
Being like, yes, sir. Like, that is unbelievably funny to me. I don't know if anyone else will find it funny. But to anyone who knows you, like, that's a very funny sketch premise where, like, this is fake and everything else behind
like, you're finally seeing the real thing. Like, the way we're talking now, everything, all this is just, like, it's just really good performance. And then we would yell, like, cut. You'd stop and be like, that's fucking disgusting. Why did you fucking bring that? I fucking told you not to talk about that.
That's how you originally pitched it. You said, all right, the thing is like,
it would be a post show.
Get into the post show and you stop the post show and you go, what the fuck was that? And you just immediately go, and I was like, yeah, that's really funny.
Because I think that might be the only problem. What is it?
It's got a big whiff of pee.
Uh-oh. There you go. Anyways, is it maybe you smelling the piss that I did in my pants? What were we talking about? The original. Oh, yeah. I think the only problem with the thing now is that, like, when we were editing it and we were doing the titles and we were trying to come up with the perfect words to get the idea across without trying to make it obvious that that's what we were trying to do.
Do you mean the title cards or the title?
No, the title's that's just a fun little gag for us. But the title cards at the very start about, you know, the G stream is the blah blah blah. The little fucking exposition at the start of setting it up. Because
that was a good idea.
Yeah, and I think it's necessary. I think we're talking about it like it's fucking high out. Well, obviously with this picture, what we tried to do.
Well, we got it. There's no other way to talk about it.
But I think the idea comes across way better if we do the snap out of the post show. Like, we're sitting here doing a post show and then we snap and you see everyone immediately change. And that very quickly gives the audience the idea like, oh, okay. Like, it's all explained just with that.
Yeah.
And I think it takes a little bit of watching of the one we've done. It's structurally, I think it works better, but it does take more time.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I did remember.
It's got to kind of because when we were editing it, I had to try and put my thing on like, remember, if I don't know the premise, watch it as someone who's seeing it for the first time, and it kind of takes a little bit to unpack.
When I edited it, I thought, I think it's going to be strange at the start when Aiden's doing a British accent, and it takes a minute for that to pay off for people to go, oh, Aiden's not Aiden.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a little bit of confusion for probably 30 seconds, and then it.
But I kind of like those jokes. If it works the way we want it to work, that's great. I like that actually better. Because have you ever watched Arrested Development?
Yes, I've watched like 4 or 5 episodes.
You know, did you ever get into the bit where Tobias joins the Blue Man Group?
Oh, Arrested Development. Sorry, I was thinking of Always Sunny. Yeah, I've watched Arrested Development.
Where Tobias joins the Blue Man Group, and no one mentions anything about it. I think maybe it's mentioned that he grabs the wrong poster or something because he thinks it's for depressed men.
Yeah,
but it's the Blue Man Group. But then Michael comes home and walks into the house, and there's just these blue smudges around the wall, and you don't know what it's from. There's just like bits of blue paint on the wall, and he's walking around, and it's a completely different scene. He's talking about something else with George Michael or something, and you just see bits of blue everywhere. Like, why is there blue on the fridge door handle, on the light switch everywhere? And then he comes in and he's got blue all over, like still behind his ears and on his neck and stuff. And oh, Michael, I have joined a men's group for blue men. And he's part of the blue man group now, and he's auditioning. He's been painting himself blue. But it's just, you're like, what the fuck's going on? That you're seeing, like, that's fucking very funny.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that sort of joke where it's like you're confused for a bit, and then you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Hopefully it pays off like that.
It will. I like the whole premise. So you pitched me. Before we even got into that, you pitched me.
Before I even got into that.
I could go back and look at the messages, but I have to fucking scroll. It was something like, oh, I've got it. This is it. And then you told me, and I was like, that's the one. That's fucking hilarious, which was this is like, I'm a fucking, it's a big empire. Tyrant. I'm a tyrant making the content. It's all.
You're a total sociopath, fucking Gordon Gekko, Wolf of Wall Street type guy. And you just a mogul, and you think you're a pimp, and all of everything you've ever made, all the streams where you're just a very affable, likable guy. That's the character you're playing, and you're this complete media numpty, like a real Roger Ailes, Trumpian, very Trumpian, I think.
Yeah,
not in any way you don't sound like Trump or anything, or you don't like any of the stuff. Like you're not wearing a suit or anything, but. Just the complete disregard for everyone else's everything is very that.
And you sent me a Gervais sketch for the big Red Nose Day.
Yeah.
And you were like, this kind of energy. And that was a good selling point to me too, because I could see it visualized. I was like, oh, that's quite funny. Yeah. So that was a good.
There was that, and then there was another one that I can't remember if I ended up sending you, but I was like, there were two reference points. There was that and another thing. I can't remember what it was.
The inspiration.
Yeah. And that was like my little mood board.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a Tumblr.
Yeah.
But the idea of Aiden and Beck hadn't quite come into it yet. Originally, it was that I was that. I was what I was from the start. I think you'd created what I ended up being was the idea from the start, and you being a bitch was from the start. But also, everybody was a bitch.
It was sort of that, yeah. We couldn't, because that makes sense with your dynamic, is that everyone under you is just completely, subjugated by you.
Yeah.
And I was like, it needs more colors and flavor.
Yeah.
Like, it can't just be the same thing for everyone, because that'll get boring. There's not enough different dynamics.
Once again, I when you pitched me something, I was like, I'm not sure about that, which ended up being the right decision, which is Aiden being a British, being an actor. My original thought was, this is a 5-minute sketch. How are we going to
get all that shit across?
Get all these different characters.
The other idea that was quite funny, we both laughed when we said it, but didn't end up going with it because it didn't fit with what we ended up going with Aiden, was that when we were all, completely subjugated by you, it was that Beck was actually Aiden's girlfriend. But you made her pretend to be your girlfriend on the streams. That was good.
I remember pitching that to Beck, and Beck thought that was funny as well.
Yeah.
But no, that one got quashed pretty quickly.
Because we were trying to do, like, if we can kind of flip people around and do, like, it was just like, we're going to make everyone the opposite of what they are. But it was like, we're going to flip people's ideas and expectations, try and flip that, subvert that a little bit. So, like, everyone loves you on the streams because you're very nice, you got a very lovely sweetie boy face, and you're just a nice, funny guy. So we're going to make you a fucking dick.
And you're a fucking dick.
And I'm a dick on the podcast all the time. Just don't participate and not involved at all. I'm just like, I listen. You tell me to do something and I go, I'm not going to do that. And so we'll make it the opposite, where I'm just completely under your thumb.
Yeah, it was easy for you and me, but a bit harder for Aiden.
And then everyone seems to be like, are you British all the time? That's kind of the running gag with him. So like, why don't we actually make him a British actor?
We did say, like, what is Aiden and what is the opposite of Aiden? And it was that he'd be very, really quiet. But that was too close to you.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Beck, like, there's no real opposite to Beck except that she could be bitchy. But then we were like, I'm already like the arsehole bitch.
Yeah.
And how could she be like?
Well, for her, it was more like she's just uninterested and vapid and doesn't participate or have any interest in anything.
Yeah.
Where, she's constantly got things to add in and opinions and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But in that, she's just like, oh, whatever. And you could just tell she's constantly on her phone. Not that we aren't all anyway, but. To the detriment of any sort of participation or interest in anything.
Mm.
Yeah.
That was, did we work at, we worked all that out before you even started writing. Said Aiden's going to be British.
Aiden, we definitely did. I think I didn't have a firm I was still trying to work out exactly how Beck was going to come across because I was like, yeah, like a Kardashian-y type of just no real interested in anything besides themselves type thing.
Yeah, I remember in the original script you sent me, you said still need more for Beck to do.
Yeah, and then she's like, nah, you don't. I was like, okay, never mind.
You did end up putting in another thing for her own talking head.
Yeah, I wanted everyone to have at least that.
Yeah.
But even then she was like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm more of a stage person, I think. I was like, okay. So I made her talking head as short as physically possible.
So you sent me a script and I loved it immediately. I think I read it in the kitchen while Beck was doing something. I pulled it out immediately and read it and I was like, yeah, this is fucking good. This is going to be good. And at this point I didn't even know what was going on because we hadn't.
Because we're terrible at communicating.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were working it out, and then we would do the other bit, and so then when I pitched,
well, that's the thing. That's the thing that it's like the double-edged sword of like, do you deal everyone in really early, and then you have to keep dealing them in annoyingly when it keeps changing, so that they're fine. Okay, whatever. Yeah, okay, so it's slightly changed. Like if we dealt everyone in we're thinking of doing a sketch where at the start, and maybe we'd do it with all the characters and a bunch of characters from the GMat world come in. Like, what would be the point of telling them that?
Too cool
because it just gets annoying. But then where's the point where people aren't going to feel like, why all this was happening in the background and no one told me?
I do think he felt that a little bit.
It's going to happen though, because he's not writing it, and it's your channel, and you have to say yes. So
yeah,
I mean, Steve and Beck and all that, they're the only other people in it really.
Yeah,
but they didn't find out until it was done. You have to have a product to show them. I think something like this is probably this is very close to what it's going to be. So.
Here now you can have it. Second you got the script done, I sent it to everybody. So here's the script. And then got Steve on board. Steve was on board already before the script. I said, will you be available to like help out? I can't pay you much, blah, blah, blah. And then we got Garb to come and hold a boom mic because we knew we'd need a boom mic. Is there anything else any other preliminary stuff before we got to the filming, before we start watching it?
I think that was it. It was just... everyone was like, can everyone do it? Because, like you started with the timeline of Tuesdays when we first started discussing it. When did I send you the script? Thursday?
Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, something like that.
I think maybe you got a draft Wednesday.
We picked the day before the script was finished.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think it was like we have to pick a day even if you're still working on the script.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I locked in Steve first because he was going to be filming, and then... you and I, you had already had, you and Beck had the most opposite schedules of any, as not collaborative as it could possibly be, where like exactly the crossover between you two having to be doing stuff and not, you know what I mean? It was the fact that we got together on Sunday.
We have 9 minutes to do this before you leave and Beck comes back and vice versa.
So we ended up finding out that there was 3 hours we could do on Sunday. And if we did it on Sunday, it needs to be done by Saturday. Like, that was it. And we had 3 hours to do it. And we did it. We did do it in the 3 hours. Actually, no, that's a lie.
Pretty much.
We got Beck's stuff done in the 3 hours.
Yeah,
we all finished in about 5 hours. We went on for another.
But once we realized that Beck's stuff was done and that was the hard out, we got pretty loose with it. We got lazy. Like that last bit in here, we probably could have nailed it down. Cause
it was really hard though, because that was the drawing you being hung. Because
that was the thing, is that we just kept blowing it out with more ideas. Like you would do that and we were like, that's good. Let's keep going. Let's do more of that. Yeah, let's just try and get it, rather than just like, no, we don't have time. Let's just get what we need to get.
Yeah.
So then we let that happen, and then dipshit came up. We're like, well, because that was the thing, is we keep corpsing. You started doing the draw, like we did a few takes, then you did the drawing, and we're like, all right, now you got to do the drawing.
Should we wait till we get to that?
All
to talk about
that? Yeah, right.
Because there's a lot to talk about in that scene.
It's very telling that the blooper reel is 3 times longer than the sketch.
It's a good blooper reel though. So that's also a donation goal, is the blooper reel.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
All right, let's start it. Immediately stop. This opening music was a whole thing as well, because my original cut was... I didn't know what to do as well when I made that first cut. I didn't know what your vibe was for Aiden's speech and that sort of thing. That was a real second thought. The main chunk of the edit, I was like, I've got my head wrapped around this. I want to do this. And then that preliminary AIDS voiceover thing, I didn't know what you were going for.
Yeah.
So I had to have you here to do it. And then when you did eventually come here to pick the music, that was...
It's sort of...
we went through so many songs to try and find the right vibe.
Yeah.
That spooky thing.
Just sort of, ominous, ethereal, like, ooh, what happened? What is going on behind this curtain?
But the way you originally asked Aiden to do his lines, I didn't think that was... They didn't match up. So I didn't think that's what you were going for.
Yeah, of course. But though I didn't know either until I sat down and saw it and I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. Because I did, because the way his stuff is written
like that, it wasn't delivered as so like...
But the way he did it, I was like, that's fine. Like, that's a version of it. That's his interpretation of it there. And we did it a couple of different ways on the day. I was like, yeah, that works. I'm vibing that. And then we got here and hearing it with the stuff underneath it, I was like, it doesn't... That with the pictures, it's not cohesive enough. It doesn't give a super clear picture. And like I was saying, we got to get across the idea of like, this is the behind this, like the premise of it has to be very obvious to the audience because it's so short as well. It's not a 3-act movie where it's 90 minutes long. So we don't have time to just let it tell its story. However it slowly unfurls, we got to fucking smash it quick. Like, let's get a very strong vibe going at the start.
That is a strong vibe.
Yeah, so that's what we did. And that's why we fucked around with the titles so much as well.
That's quite funny, yeah. We get to the...
Because it just becomes so on the nose.
Oh, getting the font, I got the edit out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
A third of that was trying to find the right font.
Yeah.
I just couldn't pick. This is maybe your best idea ever, which is on the second slide. No, sorry. Yes, to change the real to the red. The second we fucked around with that. So I did the initial edit on the first day, on the Sunday, and then Ben came over Tuesday to sit over my shoulder and change particular things and then also really work out this start bit.
Just like little fine tunes
of
particular shots and timing and the in and outs, the intro and outro of it.
We were trying to come up with just this intro card thing.
The wording of it. Because that was the thing, because we're not...
I should have just said... I remember thinking, like, you sit there and write something on your phone. Like, going back and forth, I was like, I shouldn't be included in this. I had no input into... I didn't know what to write. And you were trying to include me in it, and I was like, this isn't working. You should just write it. And it took us
maybe.
It was like 15 minutes it took us to just come up with this.
It wasn't that long.
I felt like it went for fucking ever.
I felt like it was maybe 5 minutes. We had one in there as a placeholder that was okay, and then we changed a couple of words a couple of minutes later. I think, it was pretty short.
That idea to make the real, when you said, can you make the GMat the real red?
Yeah.
I was like, that is genius.
There's that thing I remember hearing Fincher talk about when he was doing, because obviously he and I are on the same level after this masterpiece. When he was talking about doing Panic Room, he's like, I don't want to do a thriller. I don't want to do a thriller like that. It's so, like, it's big fucking, it's a bit on the nose and stuff. And he's like, all right, I'll do it. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go for it. And like the sequence where she's like running for the thing, he's like, let's make it all slow motion. She drops the thing in slow motion. So the audience is just like, fucking go, like milk it as much as you can. I was like, that's what we'll do with that. It's like, if we're going to do like this fake documentary thing, let's make it as corny and on the nose as possible. So like drama. Oh my God, the real GMat.
As Netflixy.
Yeah, like really, like it's an absolute crime drama.
Imagine if people knew that we were like when we're talking about this, you would bring up Finch.
I think once people see it, they're surprised that there's not, Kubrick, all the big dogs aren't getting brought up.
Yeah.
It's very much part of the same oeuvre.
I'd venture that to an outsider.
We recorded
or
this.
For that matter.
We recorded this with Aiden.
Preparatory stages are going
initially.
to look awful.
And then we had to get him to re-record it the next day. It was also quite funny when we're like, you done it here. On the filming day, you recorded it with him. And then when we got to putting the music in, you were like, it's too fast. It's not working. I don't have the original version, but it was less like, it's like, I'd venture to an outsider that blah, 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 blah. Like it was a bit faster, a bit.
It was sort of monologue-y, like he was doing it on the stage.
Yeah. And then with the music, it just didn't fit.
Which is fine, because that's what I told him to do. I was happy with it when he did it. And then actually seeing it with the footage, I'm like, I need to retune a little bit.
And then we called him and like, can you re-record this? And he was like, yep. And then it was just like, I can't get the mic to work.
Yeah.
OBS isn't working.
And what was he saying? Some fucking goofy stuff in the, like at the start of the takes. You're like, he just was like narrating whatever he was doing to get ready.
Let's see how you like this, Ben.
Yeah. Well, there's something else where he's like, he had to clear his throat, and he was just telling us like, oh man, too much pasta for dinner last night, blah, blah, blah. He was just like having a chat with us, even though it was not going to be until like 10 minutes later that we actually heard it.
I think he was bummed he wasn't here.
Yeah.
He was like, I want to be part of it.
I think he was under the impression it was a lot more than it was. It wasn't just, he thought it was going to be like a hangout and like a sit down and really get into it, not just me here for 2 hours very quickly changing some shit and leaving.
Yeah. And having all these past G-Stream clips at the start, you had that in the script originally. And then adding the slow motion was just the extra touch.
I think that was yours.
Yeah.
You came up with that. Yeah.
It was.
I think once we got the music, and I don't know whether we had his voiceover yet or whether I had explained what it was going to be and what I wanted, you were like, oh, okay, yeah, why don't we slow this down? I was like, now you're talking. Let's put a dissolve in between the two things. Yeah, exactly. And then it started to take shape, and I think from then we knew, like, the edit was on the same page. We knew what we were going for. Which is always nice.
It's always nice when we're on the same page.
For me, that's part of the challenge of the form. Now, I don't think anyone has ever seen behind the GMat curtain, as it were. One worries that might be the final unbearable straw of realism that breaks the suspension of disbelief.
I love this shot of everyone dancing.
Yeah.
Slowed down with the music.
As Oscar Wilde said, an idea that is not dangerous
very moments
is
before
unworthy
disaster.
of being called an idea at all.
Oh my God. Remember when we got to this bit where you were like, we need a title, like 9 days till, originally that bit said 9 days till G-Stream,
Yeah.
which comes up later, and you were like, now we need like a title, like a catchy
What's the actual title of what are they watching? What's the name of the show?
It was the first thing that came to my head. I went, the Jinx with a G.
Yeah.
And you've keeled over it, and that was it.
Yeah.
From the start.
Easy.
That might be the best idea I've ever come up with. And I'm going to hold on to that to the day I'm dead. And then, yeah, and making it look like the same thing. I'm very proud of the Jinx, by the way, everybody. I need everyone to know. Super proud of it.
How are we doing it? Because I'm just going to call this the Ginks from now on, or the G-Ginks.
I was just calling it the Jinx, so it's even more confusing.
So I was like, do you like the Jinx? Are you talking about the real GMat Jinx or the Robert Durst Jinx? Because I've seen both of them. I'm just wondering which one, because that will inform how I answer.
How do you want to do this? Do you want to watch the whole scene and then talk about it, or
We could do like a commentary and talk while it's playing, because this is going to be difficult for you to edit now.
it's fine?
Because
I'll
we
just stop
stopped
and
and
start.
started.
It's
Yeah, okay.
whatever. But there's too much to talk about for us to just keep talking while it goes.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think I need to stop it every now and again.
Yeah, stop it every now. I guess we'll stop when we need to stop it, and if we don't have anything to say, we'll keep going.
The door! Ben! The door!
That was quite loud inside.
It was quite loud inside.
You and I were in the office at this point, getting ready for our big moment.
Are you late? Feels like you're late.
I don't believe so. I thought we said 12:30.
Blah, blah, blah. I can't with you. He's editing.
Okay.
What you should know there, I don't know if you knew this already, but you're late. They're like, no, I think you're editing, blah, blah, blah. I always love our tete-a-tete, Rebecca. They're all from different takes.
All the sound.
Every single one of them is from a different
Oh,
take.
because I was telling Steve today that you had a lot of the choices with some of the cuts. Not a lot, but some of the actual visual edits. So you can hide your cuts and pastes with audio and taking shit from different takes.
Yeah.
And using different takes. And I didn't know how much effort you had to put into tuning the audios. A lot.
It was a lot. This start bit, this is probably the worst because I wanted them to hear Beck saying he's editing, which was really, really hard because I also had to have her not visible because there was no way I was ever going to line up her lips. So she walks behind Aiden as she's saying, blah, 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 he's editing. And that's the only time we could ever hear her saying he's editing, which I felt like was an important line because we go in and you're editing.
Yeah, you're just
fun.
rapping into a mirror.
Yeah. And then and luckily Aiden's back is to the camera because none of the things he says from no, I believe I'm on like the
There you go, the
second
magic
he says
of
about-
cinema, huh?
Yeah, nothing he says in this scene is him saying it.
Enjoy our tete-a-tetes, Rebecca. Yes, OG. We running up just like Kobe.
Now we cut to a whole different day.
Anyone, yeah, you know who the OG, you the fucking OG. Hey, you can't use any of this footage, okay? I will tell you what's good, capiche? Oh, sound guy. Big man, huh?
That was all improv on the day, the sound guy stuff.
big man. Because what was it originally?
originally it was going to be Senna was doing your makeup because you were gonna stream at some point, so you're getting your makeup done.
Yeah.
And you just big noting yourself to her.
And then
And
having
they were like, it's
Sienna.
too many people to coordinate, and the room is fucking tiny. It's amazing that we almost didn't all fit in here.
Yeah. Garb was already coming to do the mic.
Hmm.
So I don't remember who pitched. I think I might have said I could do something to Garb, and then you came up with the idea of like,
Yeah, I was just like, yeah,
Picking
that'll
them
work.
up.
Just I'll tune it.
yeah. Something about that. Oh yeah. So when we walk into the room, and I'm going, this is like OG, and then it cuts to a close up of my face, and then we cut to what looked like the same shot. That goes from like the start of the day it was sunny to the end of the day it was pissing down rain.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
a lot of those takes from outside as Aiden walks up were unused, totally unusable because of the rain. But the rain ones were the best ones we did in here. So
Yeah.
I knew I had to get them at the start, bright out there, and then us at the rain here at the end. Not that it matters. It's boring, but
But that's the whole commentary, though.
sorry,
This
sorry, yeah.
sort of shit.
yeah. So then the big man thing,
Big Man was written.
and
That was one of the new tunes,
yeah,
and then it goes into the MMA boxing stuff. That
don't
was
know.
all improv.
that got Aiden. I think that took first time I did it. That broke Aiden,
Bought me as well.
and
Neither of us were expecting it, but I've got my back to everything at that point, so I can afford to laugh.
I don't know what was the douchiest thing to say. Like to be like,
That's good.
You box.
You found the character very quickly because it was funny when I was telling Steve about it. He's like, "Yeah, is he going to be able to play that though?" I was like, "Yeah, he'll be right. He reckons anger's easy." And then I was telling him about the you yelling in my face bit that's coming up.
Yeah.
He's like, "You could be able to do that." And I was like, "He reckons he can." Because he said anger's easy. Just yeah. And you did get it quicker than I thought you would.
Yeah.
But yeah, the boxing MMA was very funny and completely improv once you're just in the zone, as was dipshit.
Grabbing the mic as well and bringing it down. I didn't know that got Garb.
Yeah.
Garb never really broke or made it a problem, but boxer.
You watched the
boxer-
bloopers, I think.
Yeah.
You'll find he did.
Boxer, martial arts, boxer, whatever I said.
Yeah.
That got him when it got you guys. And grabbing the mic as well. I saw him go because I screamed.
Yeah,
in his
yeah,
ears. Yeah, and then you were it took me ages to work out what the out of that was, how to get out of that, and you were like, that's you said from the start to be like, not bothered,
Yeah.
which is quite fucking funny. To be like, oh, do you do MMA? Psh, no,
Because you're
bothered.
immediately intimidated by him, but
Yeah.
then you got to size him and be like, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care.
Good bits.
Great stuff.
You a boxer? Do you do MMA? Not bothered. That's what you need to understand about me. I'm an OG. I'm always hustling.
That was the best costume I've ever worn for anything ever.
Oh, yeah?
The putting the rings on was the thing.
Yeah.
I only had rings on the right hand as well, so I was right hand for everything.
It's funny you get that little character piece and then that's what you're like, oh, I get it now. This is something.
Oh no, it was like 2 days beforehand. I was editing a Instagram clip of you going, Putin, all right. This is your final warning, all right? No, I'm going to tell you this once, all right? No more. You get me? You understand? Big man? And that made me laugh.
Yeah.
Rewatching that, I was like, I got to bring that into this. So there's a lot of the pinky thing.
Yeah.
I don't know when I pulled that out, but that killed every single time. I don't think I ever got a pinky in.
It might be Sam Hyde. I might have taken that from him.
Maybe.
I don't know.
No, I don't think I took the pinky thing from you. I think I did the pinky thing. You were
Oh,
doing,
okay.
You were doing like other shit. This is something you did a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But
Because you know the fucking tough guys, they always have the pinky out. Like, excuse me, brother. The fucking Paulie Walnuts. You don't watch Sopranos, do you?
No.
But Paulie Walnuts would always do that. He was like, "Careful, Chrissy. Be careful what you're saying. You gotta watch yourself, okay? You need to be fucking keep your eyes open." He always do that. It's very funny.
I don't think me doing a pinky ever got into the final cut because
Well, no, everyone laughed every time.
every time
Because you didn't do it consistently, consistently. So whenever you did it, it would take someone off guard, and it's so fucking ridiculous. Point at someone with your little pimp ring on.
yeah. So when I took the glass off and I'm like this, I always everything I did was showing off the rings.
Yeah.
every time I could.
If I wasn't a streamer, I'd probably be in a gang. I'd probably be running a gang. Strongest gang in the city. Ben?
Sir,
Who's the toughest gang in Melbourne?
Corleone family?
If I wasn't a streamer, I'd be running
That's a
the
point of
Corleone
contention.
family.
That shot.
Yeah, we
You
had a
love
hard
it. And you
time.
had to have it in. And I'm like, I hate it, but if you want it, we have to move it.
It came in an earlier point. Second you turned around, you went, yes, sir. And then I cut to you looking at the camera. And
Yeah.
you really hated that. So now it was like, yes, sir, Corleone family, then look at the camera.
Yeah, just a little reaction shot.
And you really didn't like it. And
I still reckon it's not done.
I was like,
It can be in there. I'm not
needs
against
to
that
be
shot.
in
I
there.
still don't think it fits where it is though.
but
needs a
it
bit of a
also
tune.
didn't
It is
block-
covering up audio. That's why we had to use it in the way it's there.
Yeah.
Because it's covering up or two different takes being put together.
something really gross and
Yeah.
clustered.
It's
I
an
was-
edit. It's a necessity shot.
Yeah. But I remember putting it in there, I was like stoked. I was like, this is good and it covers. And I really like you look because you did a lot more. You did a lot of to the camera office kind of like acknowledging the camera a lot more than anybody else.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's only two, isn't there? There's that one and there's like go and be GMat and when I go and sit in the chair.
Yeah, but the fact that you did it at all.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't even think to be like do Michael Scott to the camera or anything.
Well, because you're in it, whereas I'm
Oh, yeah.
uncomfortable and looking at it. Aiden would probably, if anyone was going to be doing like the Jim Halperts, because Aiden's more of a fly on the wall and he's the only one who's, adjusted and not also stuck in the middle of the situation most of the time
I don't think he's adjusted. If he's moved to another country
to act in a podcast, play a character on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But, like he's in the middle between us. Well,
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shot. And I wanted it in there more than anything in this world.
How long have we been going for? Are we in Jazzcast territory or are we still regular podcast length territory?
We're definitely in Jazzcast territory.
Yeah, we've been going for a while.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Why?
No, it's fine. I got nothing to do. I'm just saying.
Wanna wrap it
I
up
always
soon?
like it when we go over normal podcast time because then there's no way that anyone's confused about whether
No,
it's
I
a
want
Jazzcast
to
or not.
Jazzcast for like 6 hours, but like,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you want me to finish? Do you want to?
No.
get through
I'm
it
saying
quicker?
keep going. I'll go
Okay.
for 6 hours.
All right.
I'll go for 6 hours and 1 minute.
Okay.
But
Um,
it is too warm in here though.
yeah,
by the
Bex
way.
turned the heater on.
Okay, then
That's just
we got a solution for that, or are we just gonna have a nap?
just gonna be hot.
Okay.
Is Spencer with you?
Yes, here, Maestro.
I've had to change a couple of the Aiden lines for this
Did
week.
it take you? Where did Spencer come from? Why Spencer?
Just classy British
Was
name.
there any other names first?
But yeah, I would just rattled off a bunch of like Rembrandts or Miles, or it was just being like, what are some classy?
Because I
Some
didn't pick
sophisticated.
Spencer. I didn't pick Spencer's. That one,
Oh yeah,
yeah. I was like, that's got to be something or mean something. When I think Spencer, I don't think classy.
no, it's not
Spencer-
classy, but like
Spencer Willoughby the third is classy.
yeah,
Yeah.
just toffee. What I don't know. It was just that was the name that I ended up with,
just
just
it?
out of the bag in my head.
Well, thanks for the good story, Ben.
Hey, no worries. It's actually an interesting story, Matt. That name is one of the fastest cars that you can also have a hot tub bath in, the Lamborghini Spencer. And I thought, you know what?
What did you think? You're quite warm and you can't come up with the punchline?
Yeah,
It's pretty warm.
it's so fucking warm. It's like 30 degrees in here.
Corleone family?
If I wasn't
Sorry, I went
a
back a little
streamer,
bit.
I'd be running the Corleone family.
Corleone
Spencer.
family, you were the biggest fan of that joke that you came up with.
I can't believe I didn't pick up on that before.
Well,
Well, because we've already watched this before. I didn't think of it
Yeah.
before. Yeah. I thought of. I acted like I came up with it on the day. I thought of Corleone family like the day before,
yeah.
and I remember thinking that's quite funny that I don't even know who this most famous gang in Melbourne is,
Yeah.
and then say the Corleone family.
But you know the Corleone family is the Godfather.
oh
It's just me being like, because I can't not have an answer for you.
no, I thought the Corleone family was a real Melbourne. I thought it was an underbelly thing.
No, the Corleone family is the Godfather. They're the family in the Godfather
No,
movies.
so I know that now that you've said it, but
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I got hooked on underbelly.
Yeah, because you thought I was just genuinely answering the question.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's just me having no answer and just thinking, quick, what's a gang? The Corleone family.
That's even that. All right, yeah, I didn't need to say Corleone. I ruined the joke.
You reckon?
Yep.
It's fine.
Corleone has ruined the joke.
That's probably why I found it less funny than
See,
you found it on the day.
Now I've accidentally done that thing I hate that I talked to you about, joke stacking, where there's already a joke there. but
It's
you
fine.
decide to
It
do
makes sense for your character. It's just it's not stacking. It's not a joke that's stacked so hard that the weight of the stack breaks the back of the lowest joke.
Okay.
It's fine because it makes sense for your character that even though I've said Corleone, that joke's done, and then you have your own little thing on it that doesn't ruin the other one.
Okay. All right. Anyways, yeah, Corleone, Got
It is a
Aiden.
bit of a stack, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I didn't realize that you didn't know what
I
the
wouldn't have
joke was.
stacked it if I didn't. If I just thought I was.
Why
I just
would
thought
I
it was
not
still-
put a joke there?
Well, I thought it was kind of a joke in its way
Yeah.
that. No, I thought it was a setup for me to say I'd be running the Corleone family. Like I'd like the genuinely big. I thought it was a setup.
Problem is just punch this
I'm
script.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's why I didn't
I
find
hate
it as
jokes.
funny as you and Aiden found it on the day.
Yeah, because I've just killed your already written joke.
It's all right. Didn't kill it. It just added like a slightly less one after.
Yeah, made Aiden laugh.
Yeah.
He
there you go.
really Corleone got
Point
him.
proven.
And because he laughed and then said you got to do Corleone, I was like, okay, good.
Well, I didn't say you can't do Corleone either.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's fine. You can do your little Corleone.
Every time I do something, and I look at you like, is that funny? You'd be like, okay, you can do that.
There's a lot of that in the outtakes
Yeah.
where you'll do something and I will laugh or chuckle but be annoyed that I've ruined the take. And then I'll be like, oh, for fuck's sake. Or like, that's fucking ridiculous. Because like the fucking drawing, you'd be like, is that too much? I'm like, the whole thing's too much. Do it. Let's do it. Let's try and get it though. But that was what I was saying to Steve because he hadn't seen it.
that was one. Also, that thing that I said that you really liked in the boxing where I said, you know this, like slower, you know this.
You know this. Because the implication, because this was the weird thing is how we were all wondering like, oh, can Matt be an asshole? I don't know. And you got into it so fucking thoroughly. It's like you fucking Daniel Day-Lewis that character for months. Because slower, you know this. How like that and then dipshit.
I remember that was because I forgot the line.
Yeah, I know. And then like boxing, MMA, like
I put a lot of. Did I know my lines at all?
yeah, I think you got the meat of them. I didn't notice that you got any of them wrong if you did. So the thing that needed to be said was getting said. What were we talking about just before we went on that spiel?
Corleone.
Corleone. No, it was just after that we started talking about something else. Something about you doing the character and just before
What was just
adding shit in.
adding shit in?
I don't know.
Just keep watching and maybe it'll come up again.
Yeah,
try and
maybe.
work it
Corleone. Oh, you were asking me. You would look at me and go, yeah or nah.
Oh yeah, yep.
And every time I would be annoyed. I was saying this to Steve because Steve hadn't seen any of this stuff, and I showed him today because he's not on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And you put it in the Facebook group, and I was like, oh, I'll send it to you. And so we watched it, and we watched it on the TV, and that's when I told you about the bass, too much bass.
Mm-hmm.
But we were watching it, and we were watching the bloopers. And I was like, yeah, a lot of these I can see I look annoyed, and that's probably why he was checking with you. But I was annoyed because we do 5 takes of the original version, then you started adding in the drawing. And the drawing of getting hanged, and then you did that, and we all laughed. I was like, oh, it's going to be another 5 takes before I'm going to not laugh. And so I was like, here comes 5 takes of me not being able to hold it together again because I was just getting it, and then you'd add a funny thing in, and I'd laugh at that for 5 takes. And then you do that, and then at the end, dipshit comes in. I'm like, oh, we'd all laugh. And I go, oh, fucking hell. And you'd be like, is that not good? I'm like, no, it's good, but it's going to be another 5 takes before I can hold it together for 1.
That's quite bloody good.
Yeah, and then out in the lounge room as well because we did, which I think makes that scene.
We also did so many takes without the mouth guard,
Yeah,
and then the mouth guard. I went, oh fuck.
yeah.
So then all that shit was just useless.
Did you melt the mouth guard down to fit your mouth, or did you just? It was completely raw.
No, it was.
It was still coming out that much.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Is it not meant to come out that much?
No, I guess people don't generally talk in them.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was very difficult to talk.
Anyway, we'll talk about when we get there.
Yeah.
Answer with you?
Yes, here, Maestro.
I've had to change a couple of the Aiden lines for this week's podcast, all right? I've changed one of the dick stories to an R story. You're a pro, you'll make it work. Also, guys, Ben,
Maestro.
we've got to retime some of my burps.
Fucking. That got us. I don't know if anyone cares about this, but that shot where Aiden goes, okay, and then it cuts to me.
Yeah,
Like swivels to me. None of those things that we're saying are the lines that we're saying. That's just lucky that we said them kind of the same both takes.
yeah.
For it to line up.
Consistency. We're pros. We worked it out.
Yeah. And then because Aiden says, yes, maestro, but right before he goes, yes, maestro, at some point you just started going, maestro? Like you feel like you should say it as well because Spencer just said it.
I also got really into that character.
Yeah.
So yeah.
and maestro, I think it's in the bloopers, Aiden goes, you can't say maestro.
He says maestro like it's nothing.
That's it. Yeah. That was quite funny. And that got us all on that maestro. And you do it later on in the boxing scene, you go, Kiss Maestro.
I
And you say it so quietly.
The other one I like that didn't
Which
make
makes
it.
no sense because they're two totally different scenes. You got to hope that they come through, that they connect enough.
Yeah, but he hears it once. He's like, "That's a cool word. I guess that's what we're doing now. I better do that." And just forever, he's just calling him Maestro now.
Yeah.
The other one that I was improv as that I felt was very in character was but didn't make it. But the Siri, remind me to fire this. Ginger, fucking idiot. No, Siri.
Yeah.
Siri, don't.
Yeah.
I like that one, but yeah, it
stayed
didn't
in.
fit. It wasn't. It was too much of a stack.
If you wanted to do it, we could have tried it.
I know.
We could have made it work.
Well, you were letting me steer the ship. I know we could have put it in, but that was one of those things where I was like, "Is that a joke stack?" And I was like, "It might just be one of those things that's funny in the room to us because we haven't heard it before."
There's a lot of that.
You have to think. That's what we had to do with the stuff on the board. I'd have to like very quickly go like, "All right, is that objectively funny? Is that going to make it better, or are we just laughing because we haven't heard it before and it's ridiculous?" But luckily, we were going for ridiculous, so a lot of that shit we got to keep.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all in the sides.
Not to worry.
That's why you hire Poms. Because they're fucking professionals. Ben, don't look at me.
Another point of contention.
Yeah, you didn't like Ben Don't Look at Me.
Nah.
That was another one that I thought about the day before, where not Ben Don't Look at Me, but I felt like something. I was like, when I say they're fucking professionals, I didn't know what to do after that. But when you were looking at me on the day, I was like, that's quite funny. Or be like, Ben, keep editing. Like I'm
Well,
having
the
a
thing
chat
with
the
those
camera
was
straight back into
like when you
yelling
look at
Ben.
the other scene, I do my talking head that ends with like, I respect the heck out of the guy, and then it goes into you being like, you fucking idiots, you fucking useless, blah blah blah. That one is you hire Poms because they're fucking professional, and then it's Aiden talking about being from the West End. So they kind of flow together a little bit. And then Beck my special drink, and then we go to Beck's one.
Okay, yeah, I get
That's
that.
you talking to me, and I thought it was over the top not because the rest of it isn't over the top, but in the other stuff, it's I'm looking at you. It's ridiculous, but it's consistently ridiculous. Whereas that whole scene, I've been looking at you, and then all of a sudden, I'm not allowed to look at you.
Yeah, but I thought that was fine. Like it's like
I guess
like it's
I
not a
can-
real rule. It's just
I can-
suddenly
yeah.
I'm just like, oi.
I don't want you looking at me anymore. Desist.
Because I felt like I hadn't been enough of an asshole to you in that scene yet.
Yeah, fair enough.
set the
Well,
joke up.
we ended up. I was like, yeah, look, I don't not like it enough to take it out, and it does help with the edit pace to get into the next bit because we've got enough of a handle on the end of you doing nothing. Mm-hmm. I was like, and I don't hate it. I just I prefer it not in there, but not enough to not have it. And you were like, I really like them. I'm like, well, I'll keep it then.
Plus, for whatever reason, Beck really found it funny seeing you in the mirror turn around.
Oh, look away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just look straight up at the roof as well.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Like
Just
you
don't know where to look. Just look somewhere. I should have just closed my eyes. Ben, don't look at me.
And you would have seen it in the
Fuck.
mirror too.
Yeah.
The mirror ended up being really handy for
It
some,
was
like,
actually,
for
yeah.
some
As much as
shots.
Steve hated it.
Steve really hated the mirror. He didn't want to be in it. He really wanted anything.
I think when you see the camera that obviously, it's distracting.
Okay, yeah.
Seeing the
that's fair.
boom mic and stuff is okay, but having the camera, you're just like, oh my God, there we are. Anyway,
It's like first person.
yeah.
West End. And I needed a challenge, and I lived in London all my life, and
I think I pissed Aiden off because what did we shoot first? No, we shot the talking heads first, but it took us an hour to get ready, to get all set up. So
Yeah,
I remember I came in to talking heads and Aiden was the first talking head. And you were driving this, you were director for the day, you were driving piloting, and then I sort of went into that producer role just accidentally, and I was trying to keep everyone aware of the time. I don't know why I took that
someone
on.
who's trying to act on a script they don't know that well.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to be reminded of the time.
No. And I was just saying to everybody, we haven't shot anything yet, and we're already a third of the way in. So I was like, one. And by the way, when I said one take it, I was like, one take it. We've only got 2 hours left. I didn't really mean one take it. That was more like a directed at him because I know he can take it to let everyone else sort of be aware that we need to get a move on.
But can he? Because apparently you annoyed him.
No, I did. Yeah. And then when I went to do my one, he was like, one take this. And I was like, shut the fuck up. And then he went out laughing at me.
That's good. That's good that he got the irony of it.
Yeah.
All right.
I was like, I'm really just trying to get everyone. And that was more, I didn't want to rush Steve or Garb, but I did.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are here doing us a favor. but I just want to kind of like
Can you
plant
do
the
it quicker?
seed that we do need it. We have only got 2 hours,
busy.
you know. So before that, I might have pissed enough a little bit.
I needed change. So I thought the best way to do that was to ingratiate myself in a different country.
Originally,
To
I'd
really
said
immerse
vocal
myself.
coach at the GMat podcast.
And I didn't want anyone to know. I was
But
British.
that was the thing is that the whole reason we have these subtitles is because that officially solidifies that this is not Aiden.
Yeah.
Aiden is a character played by him. So yeah, if we don't have that there, that's defeats the whole purpose of those having the little chirons come down at the bottom.
I think apart from that, all the other cards remain the same. I was so glad on the Sunday night after we filmed it, edited, and I was really happy you just let me crack at it first without you over my shoulder, because
Doing a rough edit is it's time consuming and it's no fun. So you just want to get in there and do it and not have anyone over, because we're not going to be making any real creative decisions there. It's just get the footage in, get it in order, find the good takes. That's the mind-numbing part of an edit. You fucking hate that bit. So I was more than happy just to let you sit there and do it.
I love it. I love editing.
Is there? Yeah, but that bit. Yeah,
I
like that
love it.
bit.
I loved it. Every second of it.
Is there a window we can open in here or something? Because I'm literally cooking from the inside.
Yeah. You can open that one there.
Okay.
Pull that back.
Go from the bottom.
Would you like to switch sides? It's a little cooler over here for a minute.
Yeah, I'm going to open the window still.
Yeah, you see how that goes. Just pull it back because there's a thing down there that blocks. Is that better? You getting any breeze come through? Yeah, that's good. You gonna be okay?
Just let
now?
all the heat go straight out the window now. All right. What were we saying?
You let me do the rough edit. And I like the edit. I liked it. I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
And I know.
I hate that. I hate going through trying to find good takes, especially because it's like I'll do it in like fractional detail. I'm like, oh, the first half of this word that Aiden says is good in this take, but I like the second half of that word in this take, which I just had to let go of because we had no time, to the point that I was like, I like when he re-recorded the voice stuff for us for the intro. I was like, the first half of the third one's pretty good, but there's some pretty solid stuff at the second half of the fourth one. I'm not even going to halve them because I can't be bothered doing that. Let's just put it in there. They're both strong.
Yeah.
Let's just don't let perfection be the enemy of something pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know if I had any more thoughts on that. Anyways, I got it out. Pretty quick. And I enjoy watching the footage as well. I really like that.
Yeah. I think part of it, the hate editing, is because I never really got that quick at it. We did it at uni, so you'd do it every 3 months for a project.
Yeah.
And then your skills deplete again, whereas you do it every week. So it's not, I don't know if you're like, oh, fuck, where is that thing?
Yeah.
Whereas watching you do it, it's like second nature. I'm like, chuck that transition there and move that forward. And you go, and it's done.
I was so glad you didn't ask me to do anything I didn't know how to do.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm a simple girl with simple taste.
Yeah. I didn't want you to be like, could you do this? And be like, I don't know how. I wanted to show off.
There you go. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Everything you told me, I was
I was
yes.
impressed. This is like, maybe I actually did think like, fuck, I could make a lot more stuff if I don't have to sit there and cut and paste and do all that shit. If he wants to make sketches, I'll do more sketches.
I love editing.
Yeah.
That's why no matter what I'm doing, I love editing.
It's funny because Steve said to me after that, he's like, that was pretty good today, huh? I was like, yeah, we should do more stuff. He's like, yeah, we should.
Mm-hmm.
So if we got someone to edit it as well, and all I have to do is the only bits that I like. So ice cream for dinner every day.
Yeah.
No vegetables.
Yeah. And like, honestly, the raw edit and the finished product, the bulk of it didn't really change that much. There was a couple like stretching out the drawing bit and that sort of thing. So it's not like I'm so far off your ending idea that it's going to take you a lot of time to come up with the final
Yeah, that's
product.
probably part of why it's so good as well, is because I come in and look at it and go, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like you got the structure because you know the script as well.
Mm-hmm. You know what's
And
fun
then-
with this new office? I had the script up on that top monitor,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm like up there looking at the script. I just felt like I had a real editing studio.
It's all fit for purpose. It's all doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah.
Never have to do that with like gameology stuff. It's not like film. There's no script. There's no thing to follow. So I just had all my stuff planned. It was nice.
I remember, because and it kind of looked like what it was supposed to look like. I'm like, yeah, look, it's not amazing, but it's pretty close to what we can, like everything, because of the time and the money that we had, everything's at like 60% of what it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But with those expectations in mind, I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's not far off. I remember we did a student film back in the day in one of the projects we did, and we outsourced the editing. And then me and Steve saw the edit and we're like, oh my God. Fuck, what are we going to do? What the fuck are we going to do? Which apparently is like, that's a normal thing. Like everyone, when I've listened to like producers or directors or anything talk on podcasts and whatnot, they're always like, you're going to see the rough cut and you want to kill yourself. I remember watching our short film and being like, did we get good shots? What are we going to do with this? And it was just cut together and I was like, this is so boring. Everything's boring. And we had to painstakingly go through and basically redo the whole thing and try and cut it together. So it was a very fucking easy experience getting to be like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing with doco style as well. You get to do everything in long takes. So it's way easier to put together. You don't have 6 different versions of coverage of the same 3 lines. And like that sketch we did with the vet sketch way back in the day.
Yeah.
That first one we did was a pain in the ass. Didn't look good. I don't think it turned out that funny.
No.
But the second one, you get to do the whole scene. You get to run it. You get to get into it. You get to get your timing down.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera can just run around and do whatever it wants because it's doco.
I didn't have any lines in that second one.
Yeah, you
I
did.
didn't have a lot, but I knew them. The first one, I didn't know anything.
True. You ate a whole bunch of milk because you were trying to impress us.
I ate a whole bunch of milk. Oh, yeah.
Because you were eating cereal. And
So
you
everybody
didn't
knows
tell
what-
anyone you were lactose intolerant.
We're talking about a sketch we did a long time ago when we were first year uni, and we barely knew each other. And you're like, hey, you want to come do sketches and do it with? And that was where I first met all these people: Steve, Clemens, Garb. I
I
met
don't know
them
whether
all.
it's depressing or not that it's the exact same crew of people we've been dealing with for the last 8 years, 10 years.
But at least it's not the same house.
True.
Because 2 years ago they would have been still living in the same apartment. But yeah,
That's
I remember.
true, yeah.
But I didn't know because I didn't know it was going to be serious or like there'd be boom mics and that sort of thing. So I came, just didn't even know what I was going to
What
say.
do you think you're going to film it on a flip phone?
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. So I came super unprepared. I didn't know my lines, and then you guys were like, you don't know your lines, and you knew all your lines, and I basically had them on the TV.
We did have to stick him to the TV, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a different sketch.
Different story, different sketch, different level of preparation.
Yeah, I knew my lines for this one enough to not have to stop the takes. What were we talking about? Talking about something just then. Oh yeah, the edit. Yes. So I had fun editing it. I liked editing it, and it was
That made it
close enough.
far less of a painful experience seeing it be like, yeah, that's pretty much,
There's
it's
also
80% done.
with film, like with something that you put time and money into, this whole thing where like we get the 60% version is also when you're doing your takes, you know, decisions on what takes you pick don't come down to when the boom mic was run into the wall coming through the thing and stuff. Like there was a lot of like take decisions that were based on like
What was technically working, not
whether it was
performance-wise.
whether it was raining outside, whether we could hear people's dialogue.
Lucky we're all such consistent performers.
Yeah,
Seasoned
honestly,
pros.
all that stuff it wasn't that hard because there was always something. Every take that we did except where we broke, it was fine. So I could grab that and put it over the top,
Cool.
or we were so consistent that I could grab someone's audio and put it over a take where they weren't saying that, and it's still almost lined up with their mouth enough that no one would notice.
How long is the thing total? 6 minutes?
7 minutes 21 seconds.
Yeah, not bad, not
We're
bad.
about halfway.
That's a work in progress.
All right, let's talk donation goals. $500, I say the biggest number I can think of. $1,000, I say the smallest number I can think of. $1,300, I deny the Holocaust. $1,700,
Surprised you let that
I
stay in.
acknowledge the Holocaust.
I thought you were going to cut the Holocaust joke.
Why?
I don't know.
I think it's funny and it's fine because it's not like I deny the Holocaust. $700, I acknowledge the Holocaust again. Like I think the jumping back kind of like softens the joke a bit. You know, it's so ridiculous that
I think no matter what you say here, it's fine because we're pretending that you're an asshole in real life. So the worst things you say, the better it is, and I can just come in and be like, maybe we do something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tamed it right down because I thought he's gonna probably.
What did you want to do originally?
I just didn't go that hard in the paint.
Okay.
I was like, all right, I'll try this Holocaust thing and see how he feels about it. But you know, we could have gone way worse. I think that could have been a genuine punchline on its own.
Yeah.
And it's not that funny as it is. I think it's just like, oh, that's a weird thing to say. It's amusing.
Yeah. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because it's him saying it. It's ridiculous that he would say that.
Yeah.
That I would say that. But I tell you what, I did have a hard time. There's a bunch of cuts of me trying to get through that line.
Saying the numbers.
It's that I knew the line and I did know it. $500, highest number I could think of. $1,000 low. I just go think of $1,300.
You did that thing where you
But
learn the mistake. You fuck it up once and then you're stuck on that and you keep doing it the same way.
I kept getting tongue tied.
Yeah.
I was like, I said fuck, and I just wanted to get it out. And because this was another scene where it's a long take, I guess they all were long takes.
Yeah.
But like it's like we had to keep going back for it. Pain in the ass.
Easiest $300 I ever made.
Is that not $400? 13 to 17. No, yeah. Easy $300. Genius. I'm gonna get 300. That's not.
Excuse me?
There were a bunch of takes where even when you said genius, you still sounded too much like an asshole.
Oh, I sounded sarcastic.
Yeah, you're like,
yeah, I
genius.
caught myself on a couple of those, I think, but yeah, it was probably.
So I can play arsehole, but you can't play nice. You can't play sweet boy.
Well, I did in the end.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got it. It just wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
No. Go on, Rain Man. Throw some maths at me. Actually,
By the
no.
way, that shot there,
Excuse me?
where it stays on me for a little
Excuse
bit.
me?
I say
Go
excuse
on,
me.
Rain Man.
I was pretty stoked about
Throw
that shot.
some maths at
Oh,
me.
yeah?
Actually,
It
no.
made me laugh to see me.
Why don't you take the big boy job? Why don't you
What the
be
fuck did you
GMat?
say? No, it's just
I said be
I couldn't. That one was a hard one to do, like different edits, because I changed what I said there every single time.
Did you?
I was like, I said sit. I said sit down. I said be GMat. Like it was always.
Yeah, okay.
It was always something different. And that was a hard one to cut. Setting up that room also, like you didn't really have a plan. Did you have a plan of like where each shot, how would be set up in the room, or were you making that up on the day?
No, we just sort of just jazzed it out.
Yeah.
I still don't even know whether it was the best idea to have the camera in that corner, but that's just where I just instinctually said it's going to be over there.
Yeah.
Just because that's where the most space is for them to be and the least
And you
seats.
can use the mirror as well.
So it was just like, I just imagined it there, but if we really sat down, I probably could have, like, if we storyboarded it out like it was an actual thing we were doing, probably could have worked better. But I think you find those little things at the time, like if we had Aiden between the two of us, and we started it with the swivel, you were swiveling me around to face you, and then it was just like, just come down and we'll just go nose to nose.
When the script
Laterally.
originally, you wanted me in the red chair. And then we went, that's not going to work because how am I going to get in? I'm going to be on your side. I'm just going to have a hard time squeezing in there.
Yeah. You had to sit like it was a throne. I imagine we'd roll this chair out there and you were just sitting there like Caligula or something.
That would
and then I
help.
was like, that's too much work and we need to be moving in and out quicker than that. So, and then where's Aiden going to sit? He's going to have so it was just, and it was that thing again of like time. So I didn't have time to go, okay, what should we do? So and like just focus on that because it's that classic thing when you're doing these of like, while I'm thinking about that, you're asking me a question about the script and Steve's going, do you want me pushing in here or pushing back there? Like, what are we doing with the shot? Do we do one long take with this? Because I've only just glanced at the script. So it's like, you never get 100% of your attention on anything until you actually do a run and then you finish that shot and everyone goes, so what do we think? And then you go, okay, try this like that. And then, so we had to do a couple to shake it out, I think.
Yeah. Putting me in that chair was a good idea because the office chair, it's the chair I stream in and everything. So this squeaky, shitty leather chair, being the big boy chair, is still quite funny.
Because that's the GMat chair. Everyone knows it's a super fan.
Big
Will be
boy
like,
chair.
oh my God, there it is.
Well, that's it. People who are watching it will know the chair.
Yeah.
They'll see the chair and they go, that's the chair.
Yeah, that is funny.
I think it'll be interesting for people who do watch my content, who do really like my content, to see the sketch happening in this room. Like I think they'll take something out of it that other people won't.
I was thinking that as we were filming it, I was a little bit like, I was waiting for you to say something because it's not my thing. But I was like, there is a lot of his actual house in this sketch.
Yeah.
I thought he'll consider that. So that's for him to
We won't
decide
be
about
here
it.
in
But
6
then,
months.
yeah, once you're in here, it is like if you're watching streams, you only see it from there. And if you're watching the podcast, you see the angles. Like I feel like when you're watching the podcast, unless you see that shot, you don't really know how the room's laid out. And then you see that and you see it from the top down and it looks kind of, fuzzy and weird. And you're like, oh, that's okay. So they sit like that. But this is really like whipping back and forth. It's like by far, I think the most sense you would get of being in the room.
Yeah, that one comes up in the stream a bit, the top-down view. And
Oh, yeah, okay.
I do have a camera that kind of faces this direction that I used to talk to people. So people kind of get a good idea of the room, but this is a whole new level.
You feel like you're in it,
Yeah. Yeah.
as IGN would say.
I liked it. I think people are going to enjoy
You really feel like you're a GMat.
I feel like you're here.
Okay, go on. Dazzle us with your ideas, Johnny Calculator.
It's the stupidest thing you've ever written, by the way, Johnny Calculator.
Yeah, I like that. Does that? I don't think that made it, but that was the other thing that I did as a.
Fucking Johnny Calculator.
When you say Johnny Calculator was another thing that, you did your little improv bits as a character when you're really in it, when you're in the zone. Was the other one me being like, I'm Johnny Calculator?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think
There's
that made it in, but.
No, it's in the bloopers.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Because I think I broke.
Yeah, okay.
I'm Johnny Calculator.
I'm trying to calculate that.
That was quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't make it in the end cut.
Mm.
Let's say when you broke people with something, you got rid of it.
When and what?
Whenever you broke somebody with something,
I would get rid of the thing that broke, the improv. Yeah, maybe I
put it
did.
in as hard. Not all the time. Maybe I'm blowing that up.
I think I did that a couple of times, but I don't know whether I kept consistently doing it, and I don't know. Yeah, clearly
I think
we
it's the
didn't use
Hey,
one of those.
Hey Siri. No, don't Siri. You cut out.
That was only once, and that I definitely cut that out because we thought, no, your series actually started.
Oh Jesus! And then out in the when we're doing the boxing scene
But
when you said
Siri,
yes, Maestro.
Yes, Maestro. I don't know if I kept Yes, Maestro out.
No, you got rid of it. Like you did it, it broke us. You got rid of it.
Okay.
Hey Siri broke us. You got rid of it.
Hey Siri, no, don't.
Siri.
Siri, don't.
Fucking shut up, Siri.
Siri, don't was that one we discussed. I was like, is that funny? Should I keep that because it's the end of the scene? I was like, should I keep that or is that just funny to us because of what it is? You know, because we haven't heard it before and it's ridiculous that I'm doing it. And I think the consensus was, I think it probably doesn't add anything to the scene, so we just got rid of it.
Okay.
That one was an official get rid of, and the other ones it broke people, and we were pressed for time, so I got rid of them.
What got us onto that thought? Doesn't matter.
Oh, the takes of
podcast.
Johnny Calculator.
Oh,
Talking
yeah.
about Johnny Calculator.
So your idea is to tell me
That's a bad
one of
cut.
my
that one
old
there.
ideas.
Yeah, whatever.
My hair's all over the place.
If I wanted to hear one of my old ideas, I'd make a fucking voice note. In fact, you know what? Hey Siri, remind me to.
It's gone out of sync. It's just because of the pulling you in. As
Yeah.
well. That was one of the ideas we came up with on the day. You had no one can really see it, but your feet are tucked up like pretty high, which was quite funny. But I wish
Yeah.
it came into the shot a bit more.
Yeah.
And then pulling you in that it's good shit. It's good shit.
Fire this ginger fucking idiot.
All right, I've added it to reminders.
I really like the blocking there as well, like how we came up
Yeah.
with on the day to put Aiden between the two of us. So I was like, this is very much the dynamic of the whole thing. Like that one still, that tells like the whole story.
That's what you pitched in the end, where you're like, it's not going to be funny if we're all the same thing, if we're all just piss scared of you. To have Aiden be like which I didn't. I remember being like, I think everyone should be piss scared. And you're like, no, Aiden should be like the yes man, like the yes. He should be.
He's
the yes
a quiet
man.
professional.
Yeah.
Like he's a trained theatre actor. When you need me, I'm here. And if you don't need me, I'll study my lines.
And then you were like, I'll be the piss scare one. Beck will be the mob wife. And I'm like, that's so many different voices in the mix. It's not going to work. How are we going to?
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying, because all of the best theatre is basically just one person. All the characters kind of blend into one. You're like, wait, who the fuck was that? So everyone likes Modern Family because it's just 8 Phil Dunphys talking for 24 minutes.
Yes, but they have 24 minutes. So I don't think you can do it in
I know
5
what you're saying.
minutes.
It's a lot to try and convey. But that is the thing for us. Like a lot of the shit in the script, at the start of the script, it says, you know, we hear a British voice. It's this guy. He sounds like, you know, young Stephen Fry or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Spencer Willoughby III. The audience knows none of that information, but it's to give us reading it the idea of what we're supposed to be going for. So with all those different voices, you're like, that's so much information. How are we going to get it across? Like, well, we get across through like acting. We act it. And that's all information to stimulate our brains into being like, oh, that's where we are. That's what we're doing. So, you know, you being like, me saying you look like a boxer and you've got pimp chains and whatever. You're like, I don't own any chains. You're like, I know. We don't have enough time, but you know the vibe now.
Yeah.
So you got the rings and shit. I don't think I mentioned rings.
No.
I said like you got a giant gold chain. You look like what did I say? Like a Russian sex
Just
trafficker.
as like spiked up hair. And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have gel in the house.
But when I put all those things together, I know the vibe. And if it wasn't right, we'd get there on the day and go, no, you need to have that. Can you chuck that on as well?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, yeah, cool. So it's like, it gives us the vibe and then we just do the best we can.
We spent a good amount of time trying to decide between the bucket hat and the hat I went with.
Yeah.
And you know what? I still think I should have gone the bucket hat.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I think the bucket hat would have covered your face too much. We can get the lovely expressions. And the bucket hat's kind of, it's too like broy.
Yeah.
It's too loose. Yeah, you look like a surfer puka dude.
So what I'm saying is I didn't think it was going to work. I said it's not going to work, and it did work. I'm not saying it didn't work in the end.
What do you mean?
That having so many different characters would be able to get across in 5 minutes. And
Yeah.
it's shots like that where you were like, yeah, it really sets up the dynamic of Aiden in the middle being the quiet professional. I'm like, yeah, it did just work out in the end.
Well, that's the visual grammar of film, isn't it? That's the beauty of the medium.
And you also didn't think I would get this.
Yeah. Well, Steve and I both had our doubts.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just you. I was like, I'm also not going to get it. But you were weirdly confident about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think either of us are going to have an easy time with this. And we had our tactics.
I had the easier job.
Yeah.
I knew. And I said being angry is easy. And
I had to look at you being angry. I had to look at your face.
yes, I knew you
And
had,
not being actually angry, like, fuck, like, annoyed and like, oh, well, he's in a bad mood, get out of his way. Like, what the fuck? And you never really like that, ever. And then to do it in my face is just so fucking
ridiculous. Yeah. I could have gone harder as well, but you didn't want me to yell. You were just be like, Ginger fucking
funny.
idiot.
You're just disgusted. I thought that came across way funnier.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was the right choice.
Yeah.
But
Good team.
yeah. I did it right. I think I broke once. One time I broke.
You did not. You broke more than that.
I broke once. I got it across.
And I was sitting there waiting for a handle, and I think you got uncomfortable, so you kept doing that fucking kissy face to me. You kept going at the end.
Yeah.
I consider that breaking.
No. We were done. I thought we were done.
We were
and you
done.
didn't express to me about the handle. And in my mind, I was like, I could do this where I go. And you pointed out where you were like, you could actually go. Like, bitch. But
Yeah, just leave it in, but it
break.
didn't really work with the edit.
No.
Because every time you did it, right as your lips came to peak, I would start smiling.
Yeah. Yeah. If we communicated it better on the day to be like, this could actually be something funny, we could have done it. But we didn't. We didn't have time. No time for communication.
Also, when you did the kiss, you were smiling.
Was
a
I?
lot of the time. A lot of the time you were.
Damn.
I don't know whether it was every time.
I'm going to change my angle a bit here.
Or maybe you weren't.
I don't know. There's also another thing that will come up later that you said that I'm like, that's not how that happened, but we'll get to it.
Oh, interesting. You've got that bookmark, have you? You
Yeah,
remember
in my
when it
mind,
comes
I was
up?
like, because I'm pretty proud of how it went down, and you changed the narrative.
well.
And,
All right.
you know,
Change the narrative. Here we go. Let's fucking see
Things
about
can
that.
get pretty tense.
that's a great cut
but,
as well. Me yelling at
that's
your
all
face,
part of his
and
genius,
you
know?
going into your bit.
He's a great guy.
He's in a creative pressure cooker. But, there's a respect there, I think. Things get said in the moment that you don't necessarily mean, and I mean, you can be like that with your mates. It doesn't mean that necessarily he's my best mate.
How much of these lines are the lines that are in the script?
Pretty much all
I
of them.
respect the heck out of
Okay,
the
all
guy.
right.
I think I was struggling to remember, and I don't act. I haven't acted in a long time, so I was finding it very difficult to learn the things that I had written the day before,
Yeah,
which was just disconcerting.
because there's a lot of like,
I was also quite tired, but it was still like taking a long time to go in, and so I think, go on.
it was like he's, like there was a lot of like and I was like, are they in the original script or is that something?
If you look at them, there is a lot of them. I don't think
Okay.
I got them in the same spot, but it was very y and
Essentially.
Ami and Ari, and that was the tone I was going for, and I think I nailed it.
I did watch all the different takes, which is fun because I wasn't in the room when you guys did your thing.
Yeah, right.
And yours always been like, was that anything? Was that it? I feel like I got it all in there, but maybe in the wrong order.
Yeah, that was the thing because I remembered the bits, because what I was trying to do, and Aiden was watching me, there was sentences, and it was like,
Aiden wasn't in the room; he was out there with us.
no, when I was out there trying to learn when
sorry.
the three of us, while Steve and Garb were setting up, and we were all just staring at those little scripts you gave us.
Yeah, you
Trying to
didn't
remember.
like the little scripts.
They're fine.
I that's why I got.
No, I didn't not like the little scripts. I made fun of you for them because it was funny.
I got 4 big ones and 4 small ones because I like a small one, but I know not everyone likes a small one.
I liked a small one to use. That was fine. But for Aiden to be flipping through, that's why I didn't like it. I didn't think it looked right for him to be when he was sitting in the chair reviewing his lines. There it is.
I like to. Be
We
able to
can
use my
just auction
hands.
one of them off. That can be a
could.
donation goal.
We could do that.
We can sign it and send it.
That's a cute one. All right, yeah, good.
We could do them all, actually. You could do like the first 4 marbles or something. Is that how that works? Because we've got a
Something
bunch of
like
them
that.
kicking around.
Yeah,
You sign them all. You going to remember that? Or am I going to remember that?
that's a really good idea.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Here to help.
I think I'll remember it. I'll watch back on this.
There you go. A week after we do the stream. And we've forgotten. What was I going to say? What were we talking about?
Your lines, doing your lines. So it took you a while to get them.
Oh yeah, and I was doing the way I was doing it was like I can't remember what it was like. What's the very first line? It's already out of my brain.
of your thing.
Yeah, it's like I was just doing the main things like pressure cooker, mates, creative thing. So I was just like pressure cooker, mates, creative, pressure
like-
cooker, mates, creative, and so I would be
it
like,
gets a little tense around you or something like
yeah,
that.
tense, pressure cooker, creative, tense, pressure cooker, creative, and I remember those, and Aiden's like, that's a terrible way to learn lines. And it sort of worked.
But it's there's no choice. You said the same thing to me at some point. You're like, you don't know what you're saying. You're just saying things. And I was like, yeah, I don't, because I'm just trying to get the lines out, because we haven't really, if this was a professional job, we would have started learning our lines a month ago,
of
a
course,
week ago. But we all decided to do it the night before. And so
I think he was saying it's a terrible way, as in like, that's not a good way to just remember anything. I was like, I think it seems to be working. So that's why I was saying, like, did I get it all in there? Because I know I had the dot lines, and I'll try and remember each dot line. I'm like, did I skip one, or is it all in there? And it's also very hard to direct yourself, I think.
Yeah?
I think so, yeah. Because you're trying to do it as much in it as you can. And then it's probably easier when you can just go behind the camera and look at it, but it increases the time by 100% if you're doing a 2-minute take and then watching a 2-minute take.
Yeah.
So it's just like that. I think that felt all right. Let's just keep that one.
I think if that works to learn lines, it works. Like, usually you just do it and you just learn it by repetition, but we didn't have that luxury. So I had like, I could see the script in front of my face while I was acting. So I was like looking. When I was looking people in the eyes, I was like looking through them, because I'm just picturing. I've got snapshots of the script in my head, and that's what I was doing. Yeah, learn them however you want. This is what I was talking about. So this scene where I'm drawing the thing, I don't know if anyone cares about the edit, but we changed the edit there originally. Originally, I basically finished the drawing as you finished your monologue, and you were like, no, we need to have that awkward point of you drawing the thing.
It needs to be me being like, I respect the heck out of him, pause, and then cut to you doing this giant time-consuming drawing, and we're just sitting there patiently waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it plays out better like that, I reckon.
Yeah. So we hadn't even, here's how I remember it. And I might be wrong. We hadn't run the scene at all. We hadn't even done one single take of the scene or done our lines. And I just started drawing this thing, because in my mind I was like, would it be funny to have this in the background of me of Hank Ben? And then everyone went silent as I was drawing and watched me draw it. And even Steve was like just filming, and then he started filming me drawing the thing and then zoomed out. And so I turned around and saw everybody looking at me draw, and then I started the scene.
Yeah, okay.
Like, just as like I laughed immediately, like, wouldn't that be funny?
Well, you would know better because you're editing it, so you saw all the takes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, in my head it was, that was just my experience all day. It was just like, we do the scene a few times as written, then someone would say something funny, just be inspired and improv something funny that worked. Then we go, fuck. And I found it very funny at the time, and it would crack us all up. But then I was like, oh, here we go again. Because now someone's going to go for the next 5 things. Yeah. It's equally likely to be me as anyone else. So we have to get used to that. And then towards the end, when we finally start getting a scene, I think it was just the vibe in the room, because we all know each other very well. And so we're all just trying to crack each other up.
Yeah.
And so it would start to get solid, and we start to get a couple of takes, and then someone would be inspired to say something else, and they'd say some fucking goofy line that would crack us all up. And we're like, oh, fuck. Yeah, that does work. It makes the scene better. Yeah. Now we got to learn that one and not laugh.
I think you said about the boxing, you said, hey, just think about how annoyed you're going to be if you don't get it. With the thing in my mouth.
Yeah, because you didn't want to use the mouth guard for a while there.
You're like, no, it's funny. It's worth it. We'll work through it.
Yeah. That was the hardest one, was choo choo choo. Because that came out of nowhere.
This was pretty hard. I think you guys struggle with this more than choo choo choo, because this was...
Yeah, this one was annoying because the drawing was hard, and then we finally started getting that, and dipshit showed up.
This is like the last scene we did of the day as well.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So that, I liked that because it was kind of organic, and that's in the bloopers. Like, you guys are talking as I start drawing, and then you guys stop talking to watch what I'm drawing, and I turned around with the smile on my face because I knew what I was going to do. I was like, I'm going to turn around and start the scene.
You think I like being like this?
And then I was so hoping that you would find that funny. And then you did, and I was like, great, this is a stupid way to start the scene. I'm drawing. The amount of times I had to wipe out that drawing.
Yeah, it's with that tiny little square eraser, I'd be like, 500, deny the Holocaust. Yeah, I had the amount of times I had to rub it out with that tiny little fucking square.
Yeah. And you guys, I think it was the squeaking, something about the squeaking.
I love the squeaking, yeah, the squeaking set me off.
Well, let's watch a little bit and then we'll talk about it.
Do you think I like being like this?
So fucking stupid.
I don't.
What a dumb idea for everything.
What's best.
The amount of takes where it's looking at me, and then, by the way, that's so fucking funny when it zooms out and you're both sitting there.
Yeah.
So people who've never seen it before, when they see that first shot, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I forget about it because you do it so many times, you forget that some of those things are jokes.
Yeah, the zoom out to you guys.
Because originally we were going to do it on the other side of the room. We're like standing up.
Yeah.
we were thinking about it. You're like, I like the standing up, just standing to attention. I'm like, yeah, maybe sitting on the couch because it's like we're scorned children, like we're in detention or something. And I think Steve was like, sitting down's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, let's try sitting down. And that sitting down very much worked.
That also would have been pretty, like, that would have had a similar
But we're
effect.
both much, much taller than you.
I know, but that's even, I think that has another layer of funny where you're
Walking
both
like a little
crammed
Napoleon.
into that corner. Like
Pointing
this.
in our faces.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we could have made that work.
Yeah.
Look, we're just funny guys. Whatever we did was going to be fucking amazing.
The amount of takes where it zooms out to you guys. And
We're already laughing or smiling.
you're already
yeah.
going and it's just ruined. There was more of those than successful takes.
Oh, yeah.
This is the scene where there's way more. Oh, and the boxing scene. There's way more broken scenes than successful
It
ones.
was really fucking hard.
This was full. Yeah, this killer. I don't know if
A couple of my
anyone else-
favorite bloopers are in this one.
Yeah.
Like there's one, the very first one where you're like, you think I like being like this? Like just so satisfied with what you've come up with. And then there's one where you turn around to do a take and you're already smiling. You just go and it's just a fucking cheeky boy smile. It cracks me up every time.
I really hope people find this as funny as we do.
I don't think the sketch on its own is that funny. If you have anyone who has listened to the podcast with any regularity or watched the streams, if anyone knows you and knows us a little bit from that stuff, I think it's pretty funny. It's so hard.
Yeah, it's
being
funny
this
from that perspective.
right from the start. You know?
Blind, it might not be that funny.
Yeah, I don't think there's jokes, and there's not enough time to establish any characters for character jokes. That. Yeah, but I mean that's who it's for. That's the audience that we made it for because it's the stream for them, and so it's the intro for them. That's like all references and shit that they would know. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully it works.
But nobody's helping themselves. Dipshit. Dipshit.
That was the thing I was saying to Steve is that I finally started to get comfortable with dipshit, or maybe I said it earlier on this podcast, but you started doing dipshit and that was fucking ridiculous, and I started laughing, and then I finally started to get all right with dipshit, and then you started hitting the T harder. You started to go dipshit, and I was like, all right, I got it now. I'm used to dipshit. And you go dipshit, and it got me again, and it was a whole nother process of like, all right, it's not funny, make it not funny in your head.
And then if it got to the point, I remember you guys were saying where you're like trying to white noise it and just go, so you're not even listening to what I'm saying.
Because there's a lot of outtakes, I'm sure you've seen them in all the scenes where Aiden's like, I looked up at you, I can't look up at you. And I'd be like, yeah, I looked at the drawing. I just realized what he was doing with the drawing and like the reality of it all. So if you don't, I'm not going to look at him at all.
That doesn't come across enough in the bloopers, but that's a funny point that you made where you sat back and looked at the scene.
What are these people's lives? They're just sitting there and you go, how did they end up in that situation? You said, sit on the couch, sit down. And we're just watching you draw a drawing. He's like, oh no, he's doing Hangman again. I hope it's not my name today. Oh no, it's my name. I'm Hangman today. Fuck.
Very funny.
Yeah.
The original line for that one, which said, I want what's best for you, but you won't help yourselves. Mug's game, I swear.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I couldn't remember it. So I was like, I got to Mug's game, I swear. I just went, dipshit. In my mind, it was like
serendipitous,
dipshit
huh?
1, dipshit 2.
Yeah.
And then you liked that better.
Yeah, that was better.
Yeah, that was fun.
It reminds me of that. You've seen that Will Forte sketch on Tim and Eric?
Maybe. I don't know.
Where he's like building a fort. It's forting with Will because it's Will Forte.
Yeah.
It says forting with Will. I'm Will Forte. And then it's him just raging at these kids. He goes, what is this? Good job. None of you. Bad. He's pointing at them all. He just knocks down their fort. And he's like, yeah? You have?
Yeah, I think so.
It's very funny. And then he's banging
I
on about like...
Will Forte yelling at people.
Yeah. It's very good.
Yeah.
He's talking about him going to the toilet. He's like, don't flush the toilet. I want to see what you've made.
That's good. No, man.
You leave those logs in there for me to inspect. That's the lines. He does some fucking very funny work on that show. Anyway.
I did get a pinky in because they pick up the glasses and they go dipshit.
Oh, you did do pinky?
Dipshit.
That's
So
good. I'm glad we got that.
You
and the
guys get-
pinky edition made me laugh because
Yeah.
we said put the glasses. I said put the glasses in your hand and you started doing the pinky with the glasses. I was like, now I'm going to laugh again at that.
Gotta look down and keep my head down. You can. I think even in the shot, you can see Aiden almost like a lip quiver.
Yeah, he's trying not to laugh, but it makes it look like we just go, that sells as him trying not to cry. Like he's disappointed with himself.
It was
It's definitely him
very
trying
funny
not to laugh.
How red your eyes are.
Yeah.
Everyone's from just the amount of crying and laughing that we did before we got the final take. Which, by the way, this is like the final take that we did.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Bex, because there was 1,000 different ways I wanted to do the next line, which is going, Rebecca, my special drink.
That's right. Yeah.
Like I wanted to do some sort of like rhythmic. What's the word? Like the pattern of the way you say things.
Cadence or
Like my cadence was just I wanted to be so off where I'm like my special drink, and I didn't know, but you didn't. You hated that, and you were like it's got to be special drink.
Yeah.
Fall down in the end, and yeah, I was having a hard time getting out of Rebecca, my special drink,
Mm.
and then that's where it went. So there's so many of me going my special drink before
my special drink.
So when I finally got special drink,
Yeah.
I just was like, that's it, that's the take.
Yeah.
Sorry, we'll get through.
That's all right. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Nobody's
Just remembering
helping
how much
themselves.
work I was.
Dipshit. Dipshit. Rebecca, please, my special drink.
Didn't know you could hear something clear there.
It's
Throat.
fine.
It might be the start of Beck's take. They're going
Whatever.
Shit.
because Steve thought it sounded like a laugh.
Rebecca, please, my special drink.
It's fine.
You're going to laugh or
No, it's
What do you
a
have from
clear
there?
throat.
It's whatever.
Bang! And then
Nah, it's a clear throat.
okay?
It's fine. It's whatever.
Easiest.
bang! And then
Easiest scene. Moving on.
bang! Because if they come at me from both sides, Beck, babe,
I know. I said this
Babe,
to you when we
babe,
were editing it.
babe.
There's something
If
that
they
I am very enamored of by you talking with the mouth guard, and it completely changes your accent because you go sides. If I come at me from both sides, it's like you
Both
sound like a
sides.
different person.
Do I?
Because when you talk normally, you say sides.
I think I look
Sword.
like look like a different person because it pushes my lip out and it makes
Yeah,
my nose
everyone looks a
stretch.
bit. Yeah, but everyone looks different with the mouth game. But you sides. If I come in from both sides, then I can fucking go. No, one at a time.
sides.
Yeah.
I do kind of go sides.
I don't notice it normally,
Just
but with the
stretches
mouth
it out.
guard in, yeah, sides.
Yeah,
It's very like you seem like a completely different person.
and at the
It
end,
really
of
made the character come to life for me.
yeah, it definitely was. I really wanted it out of my mouth.
I know. You
I
did,
was like,
buddy.
I can't say my lines.
You did one take. You're like, I can't do this. Yes, you can. Come on.
because I couldn't get the first word out, and I went, "Oh, if I have to get through to the end of this scene, there's so much to say in the scene." Slower, I kept knocking. Every time I said slower, I knocked it out of my
Yeah.
mouth. And even in the take, I'm like, slow.
There's some very good bloopers. I like. There's one where the first you suck it back in your mouth. You go fucking die because you were so fucking invested.
That was a day before when I read the script. That's exactly what I imagined.
Yeah.
It was like slower that I would make the slow mo sound effects as you go, and then on the day when you broke, I was like, yes. Second I can make you laugh, I'm like, this is good shit.
There's a good chance of it going in.
Yeah. Yeah, you fucking love that.
from both sides, I can easily go. Whoa, wait, one at a time. Come on,
One
Ben,
time.
you go first.
It's Maestro. It's in there.
Slower.
It's in there.
What is it?
Yes, Maestro.
Oh, is it? There you go.
It's very quiet, but you can hear it.
Babe,
Easter egg.
babe. If they come at me from both sides, I can easily go. Whoa, wait, one at a time. Come on, Ben, you go first.
So quiet.
Slower. Come on, you know this. Oh! No. Thank you. Oh, won't even come near me. Oh, fair enough, bro.
That's funny when I was watching the
Becky,
bloopers
what
with Steve. He's like, yeah, I think it was just me and Garbutt who laughed at the fair enough. And I'm like, yeah, but we do the podcast with him and watch him stream, so he does that shit all the time. But they never heard you do that before them. So they died laughing. We were like, yeah, you're going to get more of that.
The problem is we're like at the end here, like we've been doing it for a while, but there's so many things in that scene that I was like, every line had something behind it.
Yeah.
Everything we did.
Yeah, right. Well, go, say.
Well, the boxing glove first
People
of
can fast
all,
forward if they don't like it.
you put on the splitting the boxing glove. That was something we came up with on the day where you both have a boxing glove each.
That might have been Aiden.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I was originally like, I'm really down on fighting. And then it's like, but we both have one each. I'm like, yeah, that's good. Because it's just the most minimal effort you can put into having us be combatants against you.
I know it's a dumb joke, but also the fact that you guys had pink.
Yeah, just the
Boxing gloves.
tiny pink gloves.
They're Beck's actual gloves. By the way, your gloves are still here. I forgot
Yeah,
to-
okay.
yeah. And I had your big blue ones, and then you guys had Beck's tiny little pink ones. That was
Yeah.
that was funny. you know. Something else happened in that scene. What do you go?
We might have to play it a couple of times when we're on the day.
Yeah. Oh,
Put in
yeah.
a couple of those breaks because there's so many little stupid fucking things in there that you probably miss because it goes so quick.
I mean, we do that with every year. We play the intro a couple of times because we put so much effort into it. You don't want to just play it
Yeah.
once. So we're definitely going to play this sketch. I'm also going to have the sketch as its own asset as well, so we can just play the sketch.
There we go.
Without
I always kind of about playing the intro because
What?
it's like we're starting again. It just feels odd for me to play the live from Melbourne.
Yeah, I maybe we won't do that as much. I liked it because that was like back in the other ones. That was the thing we put all the effort into.
Yeah.
So we wanted to show it off.
Well, that and the ads that I made that no one ever watched.
Yeah. Oh, I need to chest down the ads. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I should put that. It's probably on my list. I should look at the list. Yep. Choo Choo Choo, very funny.
Chill was a game changer for me.
Yeah.
That was when I was like,
That really
right,
changed
this
the
scene is
scene.
real. Like it was an amusing scene. It was like, all right. Again, it was one of those things where I was like, is this just funny for me? And I was like, no, because everyone's done that as a kid. And the fact that you did it and it needed no explanation, and I immediately got it and found it very funny. I was like, I think that's a universal thing. Yeah.
Punching you, we were having a bit of a hard time working out.
You
what
were
we
having a
wanted.
hard time with because
No.
you're a nice boy.
No,
and you're
I-
playing a character who's an asshole.
It's because I knew what I wanted. I know how to throw a stage punch. I've done stage combat, that sort of thing.
Wow.
You know, it's whatever.
And that always looks so good on stage.
No, but
People fighting.
like when you work with a professional,
Mm.
like I did, and I was like, as long as you sell it, we can, and you're at the camera's behind you, we'll make it look good. And you put down a chopping board down your pants at one point, and you're like, just punch the chopping
Yeah, that
board.
wasn't anything to do with the scene.
That wasn't, no, but
That's
that was an original idea, and I was like, I don't want to do that. And I also didn't want to hit you. I didn't really want to hit you, especially if we didn't have to. Yeah, so getting the punch was hard. There is a sound effect in there, which that's just someone punching. It said punching muscle.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised you didn't just use the punch from when you kicked the glove. I would just grab that sound and put it in.
yeah, that could have worked. I mean, it's
Whatever.
essentially the same sound
That's
effect.
yeah.
This gets me every time. The thing where I bend over, like I'm done fighting. I shouldn't laugh at myself so much, but this is the only thing that when I watch myself do it, I chuckle like a sociopath, where I'm going, oh woo. Beck, were you watching? I don't know why, and it's the thing in my mouth. I'm like, Beck, you watching? It changed my whole face shape.
It is. It's very funny.
It gives me a chuckle.
The desperation.
But also being such
Ben,
an
get up.
asshole to everybody, and then being
And
like,
just so desperate for her approval.
Becky, you watching?
Yeah.
She wasn't watching. Come on. Look, it is what it is.
Kick the glove, which you didn't. You wanted a shot where it didn't look like, but there was just no shot.
Yeah.
Just no shot.
Yeah, whatever.
And I really thought Steve would just like not pan the camera down so far when I kicked, but yeah, he was good. Every other thing he's timed perfectly. It's like the exact kind of framing and swivel at the perfect time. But for whatever reason, that one, there wasn't a take where you didn't see me kicking the glove, which I thought he wouldn't do.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird thing. Yeah, Steve and I are usually pretty in sync with that stuff.
Yeah.
I forget that I don't have to tell him anything. And then it was that. I guess I just assumed that he would have me out of frame because I think that's funny. It was just you kicking abstractly and just assuming where I get hit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Last monologue.
He has a different persona publicly. It's all a part of branding. All right, this is real life. It's not all puppies and rainbows.
This doesn't really matter
This is
anyway.
how the
This
sausage
is
gets
like-
made.
There's nothing
Sometimes
crazy interesting here.
shit is uncomfortable.
How many takes this we do?
Everything can't be bits all
I think
the
five.
time.
Five altogether. Yeah.
Okay, this isn't Saturday Night Live. When shit gets uncomfortable, there's no canned laughter, there's no ad breaks. Nobody comes from out of frame and says, live from New York. Okay, this is real life.
I'm interested to see how that ends up actually looking with your proper intro. Because it just got us like, live, like it's in the middle of the music. But if it was like your music actually going push and starting right at the time you say live, so it doesn't feel like such a cutting into the middle of a song, but rather the song starts there as you say live. I think. that
Yeah,
might
I think I'm
smooth
gonna
it out a
do.
bit.
I'm gonna try and use the intro from. I can't find the song anywhere. I don't know if there's gonna be a good version. Have you ever seen Last Boy Scout? There's look up Friday Night Football because that's got a bunch of orchestral stabs at the start. If I do it on the first orchestral stab, live
Friday Night Football.
from Last Boy Scout the movie. I don't know whether that because it's not an actual song. It's just made for the movie.
Last Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah, maybe I'll just come in on the actual when the song starts rather than have the stabs at the start because they're not as epic as I thought they were.
It's going to be out with the... Or you're just going to start on the...
You might start on the boom. I remember the orchestral stabs being like slower and bigger and whatever. Anyway, I'll find something. We'll see.
Yeah. That's it, everyone. That was the
That was
the
it.
whole
That was
video.
the thing. That's the whole. But you basically were there with us as we made it.
Yeah.
After all that information.
And then I cut it together. Then you came around Tuesday and we trimmed it up that little bit. We already talked about that, didn't we? That came up. Yeah. How long have we been going for?
A while. This is the longest one.
2 hours and 13 minutes.
How long was the last one?
I think it's about that. We got over 2 hours. The other one might even be longer.
Well.
But I mean, I've got stuff to do tonight, so I got things to edit.
Okay. You heard it here first, folks.
Oh,
GMat hates you.
We don't have to finish right now.
No.
What games do you not have on this list? And are you able to cover purchases under $40 till the start of next month?
I can go at A purchases on $40. Yeah. Have we got Spy Party on there?
No, because only 2 people.
So, round robin. So I could just sit in the same computer chair. Aiden and I can just swap chairs when he's playing or you're playing. It's fun. It's a fun game. It's fun to watch because they'll know whom and I won't and you will and they won't.
Maybe we'll do that instead of Just Act Natural, because Just Act Natural is the same thing, but with 3 people. But
Well, why would we do that then?
Well, we can do that. I just don't know how it functions. I don't know whether it's going to be as good as Spy Party or what.
Have you played it?
No, that's one we'll have to buy. It'll be like everyone buy. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, as much as it hurts me cutting Ready or Not, because that's a $60 game, and I don't want to pay $60 when we could buy.
Yeah,
3.
is that going to be fun to watch as well?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
All right. So we get rid of it, and I want you guys to buy Escape the Backrooms, Just Act Natural, and maybe Lunch Lady if that doesn't go over $40. And Just Act Natural will be like Spy Party, and Escape the Backrooms is going to be a blast.
Yeah, look up Act Natural and see if it's going to actually be good.
Yeah, well, I'll do that tonight. We can do it after this. You can have a look with me, and we can make a decision on that or Spy Party. And then I think we'll be good. I think we have a good, solid list of games, stuff we can go to. I might make like a loose schedule, like for just things where like maybe like get like our 5 best games and make sure they're like spread out across, and then anything we do in between. But like something like Crab Game, we can end up playing Crab Game for 2 hours.
True.
Like it goes fast. Age of Empires is going to go for like one match is going to go for at least an hour.
Do people watch that?
People have been actually enjoying the Age of Empires stuff.
Okay.
And that one might be the most. I don't know. We'll see. That could be a middle of the day thing when the viewer goes down anyway.
Is that the trend?
Well, yeah, middle of the day, everyone's asleep.
End
End of the day, start of the day is our best times.
Yeah, okay.
And then obviously the everyone who's awake in Australia during that time, some of them might be going to watch the grand final. I don't know.
It's true.
So it could be an interesting one. Not sure what the numbers are going to be like.
You worry we're going to be light on in the middle?
We might be light on the middle, but I just won't tell you guys what the numbers are, and then
We'll just be able to see them.
Yeah, try not to look at them because I feel like that makes me crash when the numbers go down.
But,
yeah, I'm not gonna-
but you're going to know them, so your crashing is going to have nothing to do with us.
Yes.
I don't care either way. I'm doing
All
the
right,
same
cool.
thing what I'll be doing either way. It'll just
Cool,
be.
cool.
I mean, obviously, the more the better, but
The more the
I don't
merrier.
care. Yeah. Hopefully, you get rated again. That would be fucking cool, huh?
Yes, I'm going to send out messages tonight to all my streamer pals to rate us on that day.
Sweet.
All right. Do you want to finish up?
Yeah, we can be done.
Yeah, all right.
That's
That's a
pretty
good,
lengthy.
nice little jazz cast. And there's something in there as well for people to enjoy. Plus, I have to pee. I got to do the pee.